J-Mott here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Wolves Watchalong, the live Wolves Watchalong. Joining me, as always, live, is my good friend, Alex Baggers. How are you, brother? You okay?
Not bad.
Did you enjoy the Eurovision last night?
From what I got on Twitter, it sounded great. Sounded really good. I hope you had a great time.
I did. I had a fantastic evening.
I don't get it.
It was
I don't get it because it's bad music being sung and everyone's
bad
like,
music. Some absolute classics have come from
dreadful.
Eurovision.
No, it's not.
Hey?
It's woeful.
You've never heard that Simpson with Teenage Life. Get a grip. Enough of that nonsense. Anyway, we will be taking you through to the Wolves Watch Along, and then you'll have, if I can get it right, Stephen Howson, Joe Smith, and the infamous Andy Tate. They'll be watching the game, so make sure you stick around and get involved. Let us know in the comments what you think about the potential lineup, who's going to play, who's going to start, will they go big or go home. Hit like button as well. Someone in the comments here said, Louis Liptrot said, someone who writes for the MEN, Samuel something, reporting that Jones will play. Thoughts?
Phil Jones.
Philip Jones, the legend.
You go on there and that's you done. He's still got a contract, hasn't he? So he's not on a free this
he's
year.
He's not just caring the community. We're not just letting him
No,
hang around
I
the
know he's
squad.
got a contract
He's obviously
right
on a
now.
contract to Manchester United.
No, I know that. Is he got a contract for next year? This isn't
His contract runs out in 2023. And then we've got an option to extend it.
So we've got him.
So, yeah.
Because that's an option. We should do that. Let's extend Phil Jones' contract.
Oh.
I'm hoping.
Go on.
Hoping this is his bye. Don't know where he's going to go. Who's going to go? Phil Jones, that lad that's not played all year. We'll have him.
I don't know whether that's going to happen as well. James Gillespie says, Jay, do you reckon the winner was hoovering a pasty? That's about Eurovision. Judge for yourself. You can go and see that online. Yeah, he might have been doing a bit of spring cleaning, powder in his
glass,
nose.
apparently.
Powder in his nose, perhaps. I hear Danny Sabbath says, I hear Hannibal will be playing as well.
Good to see. It'd be good to see another debut and all that kind of stuff. So there's Hannibal. Ollie had a quote saying Hannibal and Shoretire might be featuring. That'd be fun.
Hannibal got a red card, didn't he, at the end of the season, the under 23s, for 2 yellows.
Did one of them, didn't
he did that right, but he took it a step further where he actually called the player over to come and get the booking.
You need booked.
Like, ref, and the ref was like, stop doing that. And he was already on a yellow, and he just carried on, and he just went, right, you can have a fucking second yellow.
He had been booted all over the place, hasn't he?
He's a very good player, and he's extremely talented. I think he scored in the game, got sent off as well. But he has got that little bit in him where he gets involved in perhaps one or two things he shouldn't. So hopefully he can get that element to his game out of it. But he's a massive talent, and I'd happily see him play today at some point as well. I think he could cause Wolves all sorts of problems. Do you reckon it is that then, Baggers, and you're happy to see? You're going to see
full rotated squad.
Yeah.
He's not going to play anyone. I'm hoping it's not anyone. I'm hoping Bruno doesn't play. I'm hoping Cavani doesn't play. Let's just rest him for the end of it. The only worry about it all is that United are going to do that. Play a completely rotated team. It's Wolves. It's Nuno's last game in it, so he's not going to play a rotated team. He's going to get a full. He's going to want to finish on a win. So I don't know how it goes, but at the same time, people say, "Oh, we need it for momentum." The momentum's gone now. Like there's no momentum. It's just let's put a full train team out next week when it matters. Let's not worry about these results whatsoever.
Because people as well might be talking about might be concerned about the unbeaten record. United could go the whole season away from home undefeated.
Well, that's why Phil Jones is playing.
Yeah, I'm not a big sort of carer about that. I don't really bother me with it. I mean, obviously I don't want Manchester United to lose football matches, but we went the whole season away from home undefeated. It's nice, but it's not the be all and end all. No, I think it's far more important to rest players. Obviously, you want to win today and rest players, but if it comes at the expense of that unbeaten record to rest players and then win the Europa League, that should be the priority. Someone says Madhav Payne. Sorry if I butchered that one. Says, WTH, Alex, what the heck? What is that T-shirt all about?
It's Donny van de Beek T-shirt.
Donny van de Beek.
But they aren't available just yet. They are next week or so.
Next week. Baggers will be selling them out of a car boot near the office.
So I'll send the address.
Yeah.
It won't be an address.
Come and check him out, yeah?
Corner
buy it.
Somewhere in Manchester.
Do you know what I mean?
We'll sort that. No, we will be releasing our new merchandise website very shortly with some very, very nice new things. You saw Joe Smith in a hoodie last week.
Joe Smith in a hoodie seems very incongruous.
So Joe Smith we've got hoodies, we've got long sleeve t-shirts, we've got t-shirts, we've got all sorts coming out. New designs, all that good stuff next week.
Millard Goddard says, Jay, you have a glow since Alex interview. Oh, did I mention the fact? I interviewed Alex. I wasn't going to bring it up, but seeing as people in the comments obviously haven't. Would be remiss of me not to read it out and mention it. Yes, I just interviewed Alex Ferguson.
We talked about the 1991 Cup Winners' Cup final.
1991 Cup Winners' Cup
I
final.
can't leave us that.
Shared a laugh with him. Actually, 2 laughs if you count. Just saying. So yeah, that is up on the channel. Go and check that out.
You've met Ferg. You've had a chat with Ferg.
You've met Ferg, haven't you?
I've had a
You've met
chat with
Ferg. A golfing event.
Has Joe Smith met Ferg?
I don't think Joe.
Has Stephen Howson?
No,
I don't think he has.
Howson.
No, I think he said he shook his hand, but he's not really had a chat with him.
He's had a chat with him. No.
So.
Do you know what I mean? Seriously, shook his hand.
I mean,
listen to me. I want to shake Ferg's. I didn't actually get to shake his hand because of social distancing. But no, go and check the interview out on the channel. But first of all, stick with us for this. The Man Calorian, I like that one, says in the super chat, on the 15th of October 1892, Newton Heath beat Wolves 10-1 in League Division 1 at their first meet. Overall, United have won 50, drawn 20 and lost 36 games against Wolves. I like that. Bit of knowledge. 1892. I remember it well, actually.
Yeah. You're just a young lad then.
I was only little. Come on. I wasn't a man. But yeah, I do remember it. Some great performances. Get involved in the comments about this team. Do you want to see the likes of Phil Jones, Hannibal Medjugorje, Shola, Shoretire?
I want to see Juan Mata play.
He might go. That might be. You're a big fan of this, aren't you?
I am.
The final farewell. You were calling it. You called it for the.
I can't believe he didn't. I'm surprised Mata didn't play at Old Trafford, but which kind of makes me think that he might have another year in him. Phil Jones, I don't think Ollie's bothered, because I don't think even Phil Jones is bothered. I
don't know if Phil Jones is going anywhere though, because he's on a contract till 2023. He's probably on about 100k a week, I think.
What's he going to do next year then?
But if he leaves, he ain't going to get that money anywhere else.
But what's he going to do? Because he's not going to play football for Manchester United, is he?
Maybe he will. I don't know.
You can't coach either. You can't say, we're going to put Phil Jones on the coaching staff. Imagine that. Jesus. We've just signed Varane. Right, we've got Phil to get out here, Raphael. Help him out what? When you fall over, this is how you make yourself look a right knobhead. This is how you do it.
Yeah, I mean,
these are the ways.
Fair, right?
These are the 10 ways of doing it.
That clip of him heading the ball away
is mint.
Right, he does the right thing because he gets rid of Giroud. Because Giroud's going to score.
One at West Ham.
But you know what the problem with that is? It's not that bit. That bit of that is fine. He actually, his job as a defender is to defend. He does that. He stops Giroud scoring what probably would have been a certain goal. It's what leads up to that. If you watch the build-up to that, I think he sort of gets in two minds about whether he's playing the offside. He then lets, I think, Giroud get the wrong side of him. It's just the comedy of errors that leads to that.
And then he ends up having to.
Yeah, so that actual part of it, I ain't got an issue with that, because by the time he's got himself into that pickle, that's the only thing he can really do to get rid of the ball. The problem is leading up to that, and I think it's Smalling as well. Who's, I think between the both of them, they like sort of try to play an offside trap that neither of them are fully convinced about. I think it's not great, but it's the clip that does around. But as I sort of said on Twitter, I said, that's the sort of shit that John Terry fucking brags about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I didn't mind that. I don't mind that. It's the things like when he fell over at West Ham and stuff. He just falls over a lot, doesn't he?
You might be able to hear that. I don't know if you can.
The 4 City fans are out.
But yeah, the City fans are sort of celebrating. Yeah, as Bagger said, all 4 of them.
Yeah,
so
all together.
Yeah, that's nice of a minute.
They've all in one big group chat.
Etihad's going to be rammed.
They're all in that one big group chat.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them ones. Sidance Badam says, would be interesting if we test under 23s against Wolves for next season. Fish, Brandon, Tuanzebe, Galbraith, McNeil, Ilanga, Shoretire, Ahmad.
Yeah. I don't think they're all going to play.
I don't know. I think you have to have a sort of a bit of a responsibility when you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You can't just throw in the entire under 23s team because
he's going to go. If the thing is, if it's a normal dead rugby game and Wolves are in the same position and they're kind of preparing for next season, you could just rotate completely. But I said Nuno's last game, he's not going to go. Tell you what, let's rest a few players from my last ever game for the next manager. He's going to go all out. Here's the best players we've got. Let's try and beat them. I just think that there's a worry there if we make too many rotations, especially, in defence we're going to have to rotate because we've not got many fit at the minute.
No.
But if we do too many, we could get embarrassed. The Leicester game, we struggled for a lot of it with a few rotations. If you make any more than that, you could really struggle against Wolves today.
Let us know what you think. A lot of people commenting. Heaven Soul says, working overtime today, but still making sure time to tune in to you lads. Let's end the season strong and unbeaten away, and then add another European trophy on Wednesday. Get involved in the predictions. When are we going to go to the predictions now?
Yeah.
We've had your predictions sent in, of course, as well. So let's have a look and see what you had to think about United's trip to Molineux.
Hello, it's Ronaldo. We're back with another pre-match prediction. Sat down this time, a little bit more chilled out. And it's an interesting game. We've got the game against Wolves in preparation for, obviously, the Europa League tie midweek, the one that's the most important and the one that we're kind of looking ahead to. But it's about time that United get back on a little bit of a decent run of form and put to bed the last few disappointing results. We get a little bit momentum, and I think that we will. I think today it'll be a bit of a mixture. I don't think it'll be a purely weakened side. I think it'll be mixed. And with the way that Wolves have been playing, I feel like we still got an opportunity to get a result. And it won't surprise me if we do, because they aren't great going forward this season. They haven't got the same goal scoring threat. They've got injuries to Neto and Jimenez and the likes, Podence as well. So I think United will have enough in the locker to get the victory, and I think that we'll end up winning the game 2-1, and we get on winning terms again, going into the Europa League final in midweek.
Hey, Angelina here with my prediction for the Wolves game. Last game of the season, we've got to finish it with a win. I'm confident that we can do so. It's not been the best season for Wolves. Obviously, they will want to get the win with it being Nuno's final game, but I think United can do this, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory. Really, really hope we can keep a clean sheet. And on the score sheet, I will go for, of course, Bruno Fernandes, and it would be really nice to see Rashford get a goal if he plays.
James here for Stretford, Paddock and United are in action then today against Wolves. Not really an exciting game, not really much to look forward to. I think a lot of the attention and a lot of the focus is going to be on next week against Villarreal, a really important game that for United in terms of making sure they get that Europa League, winning that and getting into, well, they've got the Champions League for next season, but getting silverware I think is what Solskjaer is going to be judged upon. So I can't necessarily imagine him putting much of a strong squad out today. I think he'll probably rest a few players and just make sure that everyone's fit for next week, because it doesn't make sense to play players for a game that's probably a meaningless game really. I can't see Wolves putting a full squad out really either. I think Espirito Santo leaving too, that might affect them a bit, so I don't think it's going to be necessarily a great game. And I think the Premier League too, the focus is going to be more on the other games going on around for that race for that Champions League spot, which is actually indicative of how well Solskjaer's done this season, that his side don't have to do that anymore on the last day and they can relax, because United have pretty much secured Champions League football since the start of the season. So I think that's a great thing that Solskjaer has done. But anyway, score prediction, I'll probably say 1-0 to United, but I don't think it's going to be a necessarily great game.
What's good, guys? My name's John from the United Way. This is the Paddock Matchday Predictions. Sorry, that was my really, really crap Steve Howson impersonation. Oh, gosh. Well, today will be... This is against Wolves. This is our penultimate game. Yes, this season has been an emotional roller coaster. I remember Jose Mourinho. He came second. 0 trophies. 19 points behind City, and this was his greatest achievement. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is about to has got second place, less points than Jose behind, and in a final, possibly going to get Europa League trophy. Fingers crossed. I feel that this will be a 2-1 Manchester United win, and Cavani will score a goal. Why not? Maybe another banger.
Hello everyone, I'm Tom and I'm a Wolves fan, and my prediction for today's game is going to be a 2-1 win for Wolves. I think purely for the fact that it is Nuno's last game in charge, and I think that the team are going to want to go all out to get the 3 points and give him a good send-off. I also think that the return of fans is going to be a big boost for the team for the last game of the season, and also of course United are going to rotate before their Europa League final against Villarreal. So, yeah, I think 2-1. I think that we will probably sit back again for the majority of the game, but I think that we do have enough going forward. If it is an inexperienced or rotated back line for United and midfield, I think that we could win the midfield and the defensive battle, hence the result that I've predicted. But best of luck to United as well. We've played each other many times over the past couple of seasons, so I'm sure it might not be a classic, but you never know. With the weakened side, it could turn out to be a pretty good game.
Stop it! It's Spanner time! Yes, Paddock Matchday, Sam Spanner here from the United Forever podcast, and this is my score prediction versus them big bad Wolves! So, if you're fed up of that frickin' fable about the boy who cried wolf, let's flip it and call it the Wolves who cried boy, because boy, they're going to be freaking their pants out when they see Amad Diallo doing a 360 header, you can, and scoring an absolute beaut in a 1-0 victory for us. So, let's have it boys, Viva El Paddock!
Final match of the season. Manchester United travel to Molineux to play Wolves. Whatever happens, win, draw or loss, we are finish the season in second place. What really matters is the Europa League final coming up next week. So in that game, we'll probably see a rotated side just like against Leicester, like Rashford coming back, Van der Beek, Telles, etc. My score prediction for the game, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to Stretford Paddock. Come on United.
Morning Reds, my matchday prediction for a night trip to Wolverhampton is a 1-1 draw, but let's rest some key players going to Wednesday's final and get that.
Paddock match day, Notch here. So we're on the last day of this season's Barclays. In what has been the weirdest season in living memory, surely. A squashed together fixture list despite all the international breaks. No fans in stadiums until this week near enough. The Super League threat, protests. Joe Smith's late night live ending causing heartbreak all over the world. Stephen Howson eating gravy pizza. Jay completing journalism. And baggers wearing outsized boy caps. But it's been fun. And back in September, everyone wrote Ollie's tricky vibes ballers off. And yet here we are guaranteed an improvement in the league. And there's the granola final on Wednesday. So today, I really hope we rest players for that. And I'm not that worried about form going into it. With Nuno Holy Spirit leaving Wolves, I can see a 2-1 win today. But you'll have to ask Bob Notchhouse for the scorers. What'd you say, Bob? Oh, Lee Grant? Just the Notchters.
So, thanks everyone who sent in their prediction, who sent in their predictions even. Where can they send them to for future? For
PaddockMatchday@gmail.com for the last watch-along of the season.
The big one as well, the Europa League final against that there, Villarreal. We've got a couple of super chats. Death by Stereo says, might be wrong, but don't think Jones was registered in the Prem squad. I think he is.
He is. He's also, because he's homegrown, I think you have to, or maybe that's one of the rules.
You know, he fills a purpose there in terms of...
He's definitely in the squad, though.
English players and homegrown. Yeah. Naresh Mulkunse says, do you think selling David De Gea and with Dino number 1 and signing Heaton as second choice on a free with an under-23 goalkeeper as third choice be a bold move by Ole? It is a bold move. Some may argue it's a bit risky.
We've got a league team.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. It does look more likely that David De Gea will be on his way out, but you never know. Nikhil Patel says, Jay, do you think Nuno is going to Spurs next season? Bangers, I'll let you answer that.
I don't know. It's weird because I think that would have been one that fit for a while, where it kind of went, that's a good progression for Nuno. He's done some really good stuff with Wolves. But the way that Levy came out and said, we want our next match, we're going to be playing good football, not the Tottenham way, which... whatever the Tottenham way is, which is just not winning things.
The Tottenham, yeah, what is that? Just don't win a trophy for fucking 13 years.
Nuno is not that. He's a very much Jose 2.0 kind of, just like defend, 3 at the back, all that kind of stuff. He's had to, I think Wolves, when them getting into the Premier League, have done really well. I've liked how Wolves have got on, established themselves as what has been a top 10, top 8 team for the past few years. They've done some stuff in Europe.
It's quite a romantic story, innit, of a
Portuguese
international billionaire
taking over
Wolves and then having ties to a Portuguese super agent who helps him.
It's a fantastic story
of Europe.
Fantastic
it's
story.
such a nice tale of the underdog.
I don't think he goes there, especially after how everyone hated the Tottenham fans really hated Jose. I think if they sell Harry Kane and then bring in a manager like Nuno next season, I just think there's all sorts going on there.
Lots of people commenting as well about Notch in his prediction. He always gives it a full throttle, doesn't he, old Notch? He's great stuff. Someone saying he should have his own intro to his bits. Yeah, we should. We're going to get Notch on the channel more, actually, because it's good stuff. Go on, what are you doing there? Messing about?
This is a leaked team. I've been sent to by live producer, which could be Cameron, could be Callum, could be either of them, to be honest. I'm not too sure.
Who sent that? It's producer
Cameron, so a trusted, reliable source then. Dean Henderson in goal, Brandon Williams, Eric Bailly, Phil Jones and Alex Telles.
Right.
Matic and Van der Beek.
Yeah.
Juan Mata, Ahmad, Greenwood and Ilanga.
Right.
That's the league team.
That's interesting.
That's
very interesting.
The opposite team.
Where does that leak come from? Where's the source of that leak?
Cameron.
Is it the usual guy who's been quite reliable of late?
Or is that just someone that you found on Twitter? He's just found on Twitter. Just on Twitter.
That's good then.
That's
official then.
That's
just
why you
on
come to,
Twitter.
That's why you come to Stretford Paddock.
That nails that down. Thanks for that absolute pearl of insight. Yeah, just on Twitter. So you may as well etch that in stone then. It's done deal.
Yeah. If that is the case, we can pick the Europa League final team, can't you?
Thank you, Jordan. He's brought down the milk for Callum, who's going to make us all a nice brew. Hey, this is what I like to see. Teamwork, making the dream work on Stretford Paddock. Jordan, who's fresh from his performance, on the preview, where he had lots of comments about how he looks like he's from Love Island, and finally a bit of eye candy on the channel. Finally. Been on this channel since 2013.
Look at him. Right, get off now. Right, you've had enough. Get off.
Seems that Baggers isn't the only heartthrob now. There's a new sheriff in town.
Tall and all, isn't he?
My in-laws will be beside themselves in that eye candy that's on this channel now. Hey. Anyway, none of that. Men aren't meat. That's all I can say. I don't know what the fuck I'm on about. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think about Jordan or Baggers or anything else. We don't mind.
Or the league team.
Manchester United. That's a good idea. That's what we're meant to be doing. Sorry. Chili Waters says, Baggers, you got that Donny graphic on a hoodie?
We will be doing very shortly.
Don't you worry.
In different colours.
Baggers don't miss a trip, mate.
Yeah,
he knows.
We've got the Donny. It'll be on a hoodie.
My little Tory over there, he's always on it. He's not really sorry.
Not really.
Imagine, Reese BTM says, imagine Jones is like a prime Maldini tonight. Yeah, imagine
it.
Imagine
you can imagine it.
A flying unicorn picks us up and takes us all home. But
Adama Traore
strange things
Phil
happen.
Jones.
Listen, I've always stuck up for Phil Jones because was it Twitter that said name me a player better than Phil Jones or something? The official Twitter account.
And then turned off the mentions.
Yeah,
like that.
because you're just getting dogs abuse, and it's obviously like some sort of ham-fisted gag. And he does get a lot of stick, and you can argue, all right, he's on 100k a week. And he's not playing football, so he's hard done by. But when he says things like he didn't want his testimonial because he knew no one would come, and also, I think it's one of them, mate, that, all right, we'll take the piss out of him if we want. But when other fans
don't
do,
use
and
it, he's our,
hang on a minute, yeah.
He's our lad that falls over all the time.
Yeah, if we want to do, that's up to us. But don't, we get like City fans and Scousers and all them getting involved.
Because he was a very good player for a time. There was some performances.
Sir Alex Ferguson. My mate, so it's Ferguson, I interviewed the other day. I don't really want to mention it, but while we're on the topic. He once said that Phil Jones had the potential. Oh no, he said Phil Jones could be the greatest, well, the same thing, could be the greatest player to ever play for Manchester United. I think that shows you just how much red wine Fergie can put away.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, litres
and
stuff.
in between, the end of a game to a press conference is impressive. To get drunk in that time frame.
So just, I've managed to get in a few gallons of red wine before you do the post-match presser is impressive. That's why we love him.
No, I was going to say.
I mean, the thing was, Phil Jones, when he was at Blackburn, was a very good player. Saw him play for Blackburn actually against United at Ewood. Was well sought after, 18 years old, in the Premier League, at the heart of their defence. People were comparing him to John Terry without the racism, of course. And then he came to United.
Midfield as well.
Yeah, he did. He played in midfield against Madrid, I think, if memory serves. Am I wrong about that? I can't remember. But yeah, he came to United. Won the title in his second season, I think.
Well, he looked all right in 2012.
Yeah.
Did okay in that season.
We almost won the title. We drew it, as Stephen Howson likes to say.
Won it in 2013. And then I think that as soon as you lost the Rio and Vidic bit, where they kind of went, I'll hold your hand for a bit and look after you, he made a few clangers. He had all that going on. He scored that own goal against Newcastle. Was that in the year we won it, when he scored the own goal against Newcastle?
My favourite own goal from Phil Jones was the Villarreal one. Is it Villarreal? In the... What?
T2, thank you.
We're live. What are you doing? Only joking. Why are you stunned? Why are you whispering? Go on. What do you want? What do we want?
T1, coffee one.
I'll have a coffee too, please. Thank you.
Done.
In Europe, I'm sure it's Villarreal. Was it Villarreal where he under Jose, where he sort of shrugs off the striker, opens his body out and just slots it past Sergio Romero. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Get involved in the comments. I can't remember which game it was. I want to say Valencia or Villarreal.
The one I
think it was Valencia.
Was the one against Tottenham.
At
Wembley. In the away, Christian Eriksen had scored after 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And then we scored from a corner. And I just remember sitting there in the pub, right under the big screen in the United shirts going, this isn't going well, this. Hated every minute of it, because he was dreadful.
Do you remember the one against Chelsea that got disallowed, where he hit it top bins? Do you remember?
No.
Who was that striker you used to have, Cam? The one that... Was it Alvaro? Not Alvaro. What's his
Morata.
name? Morata. Yeah, Alvaro Morata. Everyone thought at first it was his goal, and it looked like it something like Phil Jones had just one-arrowed it into the top corner.
Great memories.
But there was a bit of argy-bargy in the lead-up, and I think he got disallowed. But anyway, despite that, listen, he gets a lot of stick, and I still like Phil Jones.
You could have a good... When Ollie first came in...
Yeah, someone's put Villarreal were all 0-0, that's a good point. It was Valencia, yeah.
We when Ollie first came in, Phil Jones played a lot of football. He started alongside Eric Bailly for a lot of games.
Eric Bailly, Phil Jones combination, which...
Because, let's be...
I'm not going to lie to you, doesn't fill me with too much confidence,
No, which is
That's
what
like the
is
crazy
the league team
and
today.
the slightly confused.
The league team today is those two playing together. So Ollie going back to his roots of what worked for that bit of a... Yeah.
I remember when I was at Carrington once, I was waiting for an interview, and we were they had all footballs along the wall, and then players were coming up to sign these balls because like whoever was in charge of charity said like we're going to send these to some kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Before Marcus Rashford was feeding everyone, and Paddy Crowden and Stuart Gardner were there, and they were arguing about. You remember when we played that Romanian team? Was it Oțel Galați or whatever they were called in the Champions League? And they couldn't remember the score, and they were arguing with themselves about what the score was away.
Yeah.
And Phil Jones comes up, and they were like, "Phil, settle an argument. What was the score against Galați? You played in that game. What was the score?" And he looks for about 30 seconds into space, and he just sort of went, "Fuck knows, but it was fucking freezing." And walks off. I just thought, yeah,
no.
there you go. That's what you get for asking him that.
That's
for
Phil
starters.
Jones,
If you can't remember, he's not going to fucking remember for you. But yeah, I kind of like Phil Jones, but these are the games for him. Games that
I think he
don't
should
really
have
matter
gone
anymore.
early. If he'd have gone early, I think he'd have made a decent career out. If he'd have gone to a smaller team in the Premier League, a bit of less pressure, I think he'd have done all right. But I think the problem was, it's now got into, he's just, the mental aspect of it, he's just a bit broken now, isn't he, in terms of just no confidence whatsoever. And that's just it. So I just don't think that, I just don't know where Phil Jones goes and where he goes from here. Say, do you know where someone's going? Got Ronaldo Brown in there.
Ronaldo Brown.
Ronaldo Brown's a pig.
Hey, he's only half an hour late as well.
Only
well
early.
impressed.
Yeah,
Well, if you came on time, I wouldn't have to do it, would I? So it's not my fault. No, you don't have to do this every time. You've got to get in at 2:30. Not a problem, mate. Do you know what I mean? You do what you got to do. Someone, Isaac Dayton, says, any good recommendations in Fallowfield, Didsbury area for restaurants?
No, not from me.
No.
From you?
Mate, that's like an holiday to me, that, go to Didsbury.
Yeah, it's a long way
I live in darkest Salford.
Ronaldo,
Ronaldo, you're the man about town in Fallowfield, that's near you, innit? Any nice restaurants over there? Someone's asking in the chat, and apparently we're doing this now.
Yeah. Nando's. Nando's. Phil Jones isn't in the team.
Oh, we've got the team. The team's out.
The team's out.
Right. Alex Baggers.
Phil Jones injured in the warm-up.
No.
He's not. He's not. So,
go on.
The United 11 for today is Dean Henderson in goal, Brandon Williams, Eric Bailly, Axel Tuanzebe, Alex Tellez, captain Nemanja Matic. Strange one, that. Donny van der Beek.
I don't know why I'm doing this like we're at Old Trafford.
Juan Mata. Ahmad. Dan James. Andy Langer. On the bench, we've got Lee Grant, Fish, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Hannibal, McTominay.
McTominay, go on, you can do it, use your words.
Shorter, Thierry, Mason Greenwood, and Marcus Rashford. So yeah, 10 changes to the team.
I don't feel like you're at the game then.
Yeah, I feel like I was there, yeah.
Who needs to go to the game and you can bring the game to you?
Buying Tuanzebe, Tuanzebe's there as the only kind of change from that thing, as well as Dan James.
There you go. Excellent
which is
work.
which?
There you go. That's T there.
That's T.
That's all there.
Cheers,
for you. Hey. No, that is a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? Well, it's not a mixed bag. It's the Reds, isn't it?
Completely rested team.
Yeah.
It's completely rotated team. So people not even in the squad. No Bruno. No Pogba.
Why is Marcus Rashford in the squad?
Why
does he never get a rest?
Because he has to be there.
I swear, if he comes on because we're trailing or we need to get a goal or whatever, and then he's not fully fit for the Europa, I'll be
madness.
No
Edison, Cavani.
Rightly so.
Oh, hang on.
What's happened? You pressed the button.
No. The lineup has just gone off the.
Maybe they've changed it.
They've not changed it. It's there. They've just changed.
You've just pressed something. Tell you what, let's have a look at the Wolves team.
The Wolves team. This is the Wolves team.
Wolverhampton Wanderers.
We have Rui Patricio. Are we doing this again? Really?
Go on.
Bowley. Cody. Saiss. Nelson Semedo. Dendoncker. Jean Martino.
Sorry, I'll stop now because I'm just making noises. Go on.
Nuri. Ruben Neves. Traore and Fabio Silva. On the bench for them. Gibbs White. William Jose. Sondergaard, which I probably said wrong. Vitinha. Marçal. Ruddy. Kilman. And Hoover. Hoover.
Aye.
So that's a pretty strong team from Wolves. The likes of Traore starting, Ruben Neves starting, Jean Martino.
Ruben Neves likes a goal against us, doesn't he? He's got a bit of decent record.
We just decided the lad that scores all of his goals from outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, his record isn't even that good in terms of goal scoring. He just scores lots of them against us.
But he does, and he only scored, I think he scored 20 goals, and all of them from outside the box. There's not been one from inside the box, and just leave him at the end. No, it's fine. Done that a couple of times.
What do you reckon's gone wrong with Wolves?
No striker. No Jimenez.
Jota obviously went to the Scousers.
Jota went to the Scousers as their kind of backup. And it's one of them. It's a mad thing. The thing in the Premier League that keeps you up, does everything, is scoring goals. Like Fulham this season have looked quite good, but they've not scored any goals. The same thing. All the teams. If you don't, Sheffield United went from that counter-attacking team, whatever. They've not been that different, but they've not scored any goals this season to kind of counteract things, and that's the big problem with it all.
You look at what Danny Ings did for Southampton.
Yeah, that's what it makes a massive difference.
And he takes in the building. Hello, brother. You okay?
Yeah, just shame City fans abuse you when you're going out your front door.
No, he's had a bit of stick off City fans as well.
Oh, won it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Won it all.
Won it all. That's the best response.
Yeah.
Well done, Andy.
And they'll never win the Europa League.
Yeah.
Never.
Hey, exactly.
Always little City.
Always
City.
Little City.
Yeah. Little City is what Andy takes. He's very right.
In terms of goalkeepers, do you think we've got Dean Henderson in goal today? It doesn't really say who's number one or anything like that.
I think with that is, I think David De Gea will start at Europa League anyway.
Yeah, so I think that's probably going to be his.
Wasn't his last game for Atletico Europa League final?
I don't know actually.
Get involved in the comments. Let me know. I've got a feeling that I might be wrong, but David De Gea's last game for Atletico Madrid was the Europa League final.
Yeah,
I think he was in the team that won it with Sergio Aguero and them lot. But let us know. I might be completely wrong. So if I am, I'm sure you lot will let me know.
Very inexperienced front three there for Manchester
Go on, remind us of the front three.
The front three is we've got Ahmad, Dan James and Elanga as your front three. You've got Juan Mata in behind them, but very, 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 very inexperienced team.
Elanga didn't really... I had him down on my preview as starting today because I thought we'd play a second string team. I don't think he did himself justice on his debut. He's a very, very talented player, Andy Elanga. He's just been rewarded with a contract that he's earned. Plays... Dave Pretty, who does the Academy review for us, raves about him. He's got a sort of signature move, which is sort of cutting in, I think, from the left and driving across goal and banging it into the top corner.
Starting a bit further forward today. Yeah. Probably starting as the number 9 today.
So he's against Leicester. He didn't really get going. He kept it safe, which for the first sort of 10 minutes I get. It's your debut, you don't want to do anything silly, you don't want to give the ball away. But then just when you wanted him to take the sort of breaks off, he didn't quite do that. And I sort of understand it because most lads, when they're making a debut for Manchester United, or a lot of them, will come into a team like, you're coming into a team where you've got maybe Bruno or Marcus Rashford or, Martial or Pogba alongside you, and it was very much a makeshift team. He didn't have those types of players with him, so it obviously made it difficult for him as well. So we'll see how he gets on. But I wouldn't look too much into the Leicester game as a sort of barometer of where he's at.
But also, it's good to see again today. You've got, on the bench, you've got the likes of Shaw Thierry on the bench. I didn't mention him, but he has made an appearance. I think he got missed off the original one. Hannibal Mejbre's on the bench for Manchester United. So, Hannibal Mejbri, you've got Will Fish, who could potentially come on. So, potentially more debuts, more youngsters getting into the Manchester United team. Which, to be honest, that's all we can kind of hope for today. Isn't it? There's not... The only real thing about maybe for the final is probably Twanzebe Mbaye, who starts alongside Lindelof, because it's not looking likely that Harry Maguire is going to play. That's the only kind of thing. Can you push your way into it? Look, let's be serious. Donny van der Beek's not going to start the Europa League final. Neither is Nemanja Matic. It's going to be Fred McTominay, who should be fit for it. It's going to be Bruno. It's going to be Pogba. And then against that right-hand side, maybe it's Marcus or Mason, kind of who's going to start there. Edison Cavani's going to start up top, isn't he? That's going to be the team is near enough picks itself. The only positions really are that other centre half alongside Lindelof and who starts on the right. Because there's a lot of people after the game last week that said we kind of look like a bit better balance without Marcus in there at the minute.
I don't agree with that.
With Pogba left and Mason right.
I don't. I mean, I think wasn't Pogba left against Scousers?
Yeah, I don't think
and
he worked
faxed
well
in his
there.
performance.
I didn't like that.
I mean, I love Paul Pogba. I don't think you look at that and go, that was a great performance by him.
No, but because I think that the trick we missed there was you want someone like Marcus running in behind Trent, stretching it. I don't think we had that in that game.
And I think he's just, you've got a player in Marcus Rashford who's got 30 odd goal involvements, mainly from the left, almost exclusive from the left. Why move him off there?
But where do you play Paul Pogba at the minute?
I mean, a player with Paul Pogba's talents can play more than just on the left-hand side of attack, and that's probably not even his most natural position. No. I think you could play him, he's only just started playing there, and this isn't like the only time he's played well for Manchester United. So I think there's other options there, and I think that, I don't know, so there was a time when he shifted Bruno a bit further over, didn't he, to accommodate Paul Pogba. Personally, I'd drop Fred and play Paul Pogba in that 6 role. I know it's not his ideal position. I don't think he'll do that because I think Fred is sort of here to stay, especially in a game like the Europa League final. But yeah, I just think you're missing a trick there because I think you suffer a lot with taking something away from Marcus because he's not really a right-sided player. No. Ross Murphy in the chat says there is more of a different, calm and composed watch-along compared to last season where we needed not to lose to Leicester to get Champions League. This is true. Progress, can we say?
It was madness last season compared to think where we were at last season. And even looking at the start of this season, you think back to that Palace game where we all thought United were going to be, where we're going or where we're going to finish in the league. There was that talk after the Arsenal game, are United going to be are we going to get into the European spots at all kind of thing. Whereas now, second place confirmed, comfortable, been able to phone in the last 3 games of the season, not even have anything to play for, mainly because City kind of ran away with it in terms of the title, but at the same time, to not have to worry about European football. It's been a while since we've not had, going into the last day where we've not had to worry about not being in the top 4, or we've not had to worry because we couldn't make it in the top 4. Now we're second, comfortable in there, letting the people behind us fight it out, who all 3 of them can drop out and stuff. And look, I had this when I did the news the other day. It was after the Leicester performance they got beat by Chelsea. And for as much as I was very jealous of watching Leicester win the FA Cup last week, in terms of where your team needs to be, in terms of what you're doing in terms of signings, in terms of progressing as a team, if you finish 5th 2 seasons in a row, you bottle being in the league and you lose no run of games, yes, you won the FA Cup and you've got that moment. But in terms of where you can go to that next step, if you don't finish in the Champions League spots, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get the money. You're not going to get the funding for it. And for as much as Leicester's been ran very, very well, you have to progress in the league. And if they drop out again, which is looking like they will today, because I don't think they're going to beat Tottenham and then Liverpool lose or whatever it's going to be, that's a big thing. And Man United fans, it didn't save Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal finished 5th in that season and then had an FA Cup. And that was great for Man United fans. But ultimately, it wasn't good enough for us. And I think it's a strange one with Leicester, how they've kind of done things. And you've seen how Ollie's done stuff. Another good cup runs in all the cups, getting to quarterfinals and semi-finals. Got to a final Europa League. Yes, we should have gone through in the Champions League and not even had to deal with this. But it's another good cup run. And to finish second in the league is impressive. It is an impressive achievement for this squad from where we were 12, 18 months ago. It's been very good.
No, I agree. I mean, you think about it, you go back 2 seasons, Cardiff on the last day when we lost at home, I think we were already done. We couldn't get top 4 by that time. Mason Greenwood made his Premier League debut. Look at last season, obviously we went right down to the wire to the final day, but we did it, we got over the line. And then you look at the season where we've done it with a few games to spare and we finish in second and we've got a cup final. That's progress. Yeah. I mean, it might not be to the level where we all want to be. Obviously, we want to be challenging for Champions Leagues, challenging for league titles, and winning domestic trophies, domestic cups as well. But you can't argue that if you look over the last 2 seasons under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, there's definitely been improvement there and progress. And all we need to do now is continue it into next week and win an actual trophy. Yeah, that's the big one. See Ole lifting a bit of silverware, and then next season as well, because we don't want to be finishing like we did last time. We finished second. The following season was a disaster.
It was, and it was all down to the transfers after it. That's the big thing, is that you've looked at it this season. You see the weaknesses in our squad. You see where they need to improve on. It's clear. It was clear then what Manchester United needed. You needed a centre half. You needed another midfielder. Jose was crying out for these players, asking for them. You didn't get them, and he did things the wrong way. Spat his dummy out. I don't think even if Ollie got no one this year, to be honest, I think he'd probably make something work. But I don't think we'd ever. you need to keep progressing. You need to not get to the point where we need to strip it down and start again, because that's what we've done for the past 8 years. Is we've done 2 seasons of good work, had to start all over again. Get rid of all them players, start and build again. So even if we need that next step, you need those couple of players. It's only 2 or 3. It's only 2 or 3 away that makes, I think, will improve everyone kind of thing. You had someone on the right hand side. I think the whole front line looks better. You had a midfielder that's a defensive midfielder that can play. I think it makes the likes of McTominay look a bit better because he's getting to go forward a little bit more. I think it gives the likes of Pogba more free rein, gives the likes of Bruno more free rein. If you get someone that can actually defend and win the ball in the air, you give the likes of Lindelof maybe a little bit less responsibility winning the ball in the air. All these different things. Even getting the right-sided player, how much it make Wan-Bissaka better. Not having him as the only option on the right-hand side, which it's been for the past 2 seasons. Not had anyone that can stand out and give us width there. So if you get a couple of players in, you're going to improve. The worry, a little bit, is if City go on and kick on again, it's going to be tough to catch them. If they sign another couple of players, because they're signing 1 player, they've dropped in a Harry Kane or a Grealish to that team next year, then that's where they're going to kind of kick on and do better as well. But the only way you've seen that's beaten City in the past few years is a relatively long-term project that builds up to it. You can't just do it in one summer. You cannot beat Manchester City with 1 summer's worth of spending. You have to do it over a 3 or 4 year period.
Bailey James, yeah, I agree with all that. Bailey James in the comments says, in the chat, sorry, says, is this a chance for Wan-Bissaka to say goodbye, or do you lads see him staying at Old Trafford next season, Baggers?
I think he's going to stay, but I think he's just going to stay. I don't think he's going to play. I think he'd maybe move on to a coaching role, something, or ambassadorial role or something early. I don't think he moves on. I think he's happy here from someone that told me something.
From someone, hang on a minute, someone that told you something.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Someone that knows someone that knows
that's
someone.
like him before with it. I've seen it on Twitter. Right, is that
a friend of a friend?
Is this friend ITK or
yes,
as the kids say?
Yeah, and I think that he's happy here. Well,
there's a debate going on now about Ollie being knighted because I said I said Sir Ollie by accident.
It's because you're all into the Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yeah,
and
Amir Gikali says I think he was Ollie's a knight of the Norwegian realm. I'll have you know. And then someone else saying, well, he's not British. And then someone else saying he will be soon. And over someone else, Shaq saying Ollie has British citizenship, so yes, he can be knighted. Maybe one day. Not at the minute though. Earl Ollie, it's Republican Mancunia. Yes. Get involved in the comments. Let us know as well. You know the team now. You know the Wolves team. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously rotated his squad heavily. We've gone with a lot of youngsters. You can see it there on the screen. A lot of youngsters and a few fringe players, shall we say, who don't usually start for Manchester United. So, are you feeling confident when you see that team, when you see the fact that Wolves have got a strong team? It is Nuno Espirito's final game as well, so he'll want to go out on a high.
Yep.
United versus Wolves is historically a bit of a drab affair, if I'm being brutally honest. But could this be one of those games where it's end of season, everyone goes for it, and there's loads of goals? You know, remember was it West Brom 5-0 like Fergie's last game?
That'd be nice today. Just seeing loads of
5-0, yeah, I wouldn't mind it. If we were 5-0 down and we came back to draw 5-0,
that would be
decent.
A couple of quotes from Ollie, who's been talking about the team and stuff today. This app is dreadful. They were there. They've now gone. Hang on. Do you know what? You need to invest in their app, Manchester United. You keep talking, Jay. I'll try and
well done there.
There was some quotes on the app, and then they've just gone.
What you got the app for anyway? Hey.
Because it...
#unfollow United.
Sadly, that's where a lot of the quotes and stuff come to first.
Well, just don't get the quotes.
Just don't talk about them. He's mentioned there about Langer starting. He's also mentioned that...
Let me see if I can
the Leicester team of, the sign of how things went in the Leicester game and how he rotated there, that kind of showed that he was going to have to do this. And this is how the team was probably going to look and how it was going to kind of rotate. And this is how things are going to go with the amount of games we've got, with obviously the importance of the Europa League next week, with the lack of importance of this Premier League game. And Ollie just going, do you know what? Guaranteed second place. Not a lot to play for. So let's just, this is just a kind of game to get a few debuts, a few run out for a few people. I said maybe it's the only decision is whether it's Eric Bailly. Here is the quotes.
Go on.
Talking about Amad and Elanga, their first time away from home with the fans, they have to deal with that. I thought both of them did really well versus Leicester, showed courage and confidence to take the ball. It'd be good to see them again. He's also said about the 10 changes. I thought the signs against Leicester showed some. Thought the game against Leicester showed some signs. I think some of these players need minutes. Of course, Sunday, Wednesday means we don't want to take any risks. I thought La Liga did really well to move all the games forward just for Villarreal. that's something we need to look at. Why don't we look after our own? So that's it. Villarreal, all the Spanish teams get moved forward to the Saturday instead of the Sunday just because Villarreal are playing in a cup final. United, it don't matter. And you've got
it is a bit annoying.
Next week you've got 3 Premier League teams in European finals. And you could have moved it to Saturday.
It doesn't make much sense, but
we don't do that, do we?
You know, we'll persevere anyway. It's weird, isn't it? Because all the games kick off at the same time today, which is obviously a rarity. I think this is the only day of the season it happens. There's a bit of intrigue going on as well, whether the Scousers are going to get top 4 or whether it's going to be Leicester, whether it's going to be Chelsea, how it's going to end up like that. So obviously we'll keep posting on the watch along. You've got Andy Tate, you've got Joe Smith, you've got Stephen Howson on the watch along. They'll be over there in about 15 minutes. We'll be going over to them.
Yep.
I'm just going to go through some of the comments as well. Aaron Nahar says, did Jay meet Fergie? He should mention it more often. I'll try to. Yeah, I did meet him. Yeah, I don't like to talk about it though. Gary Lester says, should have started Hannibal. We know what Matic can do. Give the youth a chance. I know, but you've got to just have a little bit of balance there. You don't want it to be like a big defeat or just get overrun because there's too many debuts going on. We saw it happened in Astana when he just gave debuts to everyone other than Lee Grant and Jesse Lingard, and that was against a very poor Astana team.
Yeah.
And we ended up losing because it's I wouldn't say very poor, an okay Astana team, not exactly tearing up trees.
No.
So I think you have to show Wolves a little bit of respect. Our top 4. Oh, hold on, sorry. Anis Joshi says Grant to be subbed on for Henderson. That'd be interesting. Just in terms of sort of Donny van der Beek and some of the other players who've not featured a lot, like Tellers and stuff like that. Donny van der Beek, we'll start with him because he's sort of the favourite, isn't he, on social media. He's not had a lot of game time, a lot of starts. He's had a lot of game time, not a lot of starts. Do you think he's got anything to prove today? Do you think he might be a little bit of a timely reminder for him for him a chance for him to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a timely reminder, because he's not really in his Premier League starts. He's not really. Sorry about that noise. There. Andy Tate in the building. He's not really grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck in the way you'd want him to say, look. I'm not saying he's going to gate crash the Europa League part. I think he'll struggle to do that. But just to remind Ole Gunnar Solskjaer what he's capable of.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think Donny van der Beek needs to do that. I hope he does something, because for me his performances there's been the odd sign of good things, but there's not been anything where he's looked like he's been demanding, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some tackles in, I'm going to get on the ball, or get out of the way, give me the ball and I'll show you what I can do. There's not been a lot of that, whereas you see when Bruno comes in, little things like that, and it's just like, give me the ball, just constantly and I think that's the difference. I think he doesn't try enough things. I think he plays things maybe a little bit too safe. I think, my big thing with Donny van der Beek, I think with a lot of the players and a lot of the reason why you've not seen a lot of the newer players come in or a change or changing formation is the lack of pre-season. I think the fact that this team has pretty much just continued on from last year. It's just gone, we had one game in pre-season. You had that one Villa game. You've not had a chance to work on fitness. You've not had a chance to work on formation, not had a chance to change things. Even under Ollie in his first season when he came in, he had that 2-week break he had early doors in the January time where he could take him to Dubai, and he managed to do before the Spurs game. And it means you can try different things. You could play Rashford and Martial as a 2 up front in that kind of game, and that was them then showing, look, we can work on things and change stuff. No team's been able to do that this season. Man City have played the same formation they have for the last few years. Liverpool, you've seen how they've struggled with injuries all the way through. Chelsea obviously have changed managers and all that kind of stuff, but they've kind of stuck with the same core of players. They haven't changed too many things. And I think that's what United are missing. United are missing that time to work on something different, to work on a second option, to work on maybe we play 3 at the back, because maybe that was in the back of Ollie's mind, bringing Tellers in. Yeah. Maybe he played Luke, because he played Luke Shaw at left centre half a lot. Yeah. Maybe that was the idea. Play Tellers at left wing back, play Luke Shaw in there. That's how you're going to get Twanzebe in the team. Maguire likes that formation as well. That might have been how you get a Paul Pogba and Donny in midfield. You don't know, but he's not had a chance to work on that. He's had to go with what he knows, which has been 4-2-3-1, Fred and McTominay in midfield, the same kind of forwards, and not too much messing about. And I think that I'm hoping with the pre-season, get fitness under the belt, Donny van der Beek will either find his position in this team, find somewhere he's going to play, get up to speed of things. There's a graph the other day, Leeds are miles ahead of everyone in terms of fitness, but Man United are way up there in terms of how much running the team does. I think that's where Donny van der Beek kind of lets himself down a little bit.
A few people are saying about Charlie McNeil. Should Charlie McNeil be in the squad? I mean, I would love to see Charlie McNeil make an appearance. Absolute goal machine. He's been banging him in at all levels ever since he was born. If you look at his records, like 600 goals.
Yep.
Came from City, gone to United. Absolutely carried on his goal scoring record there. Just been just ridiculous. But I think it might be one of those where you just got to wait a little bit, wait till next season, and then see how he gets on. I think he's still only a youngster. Still got a long way to go yet, and yes, he's been banging him in at under 18s and academy level, and under 23s. I think he's been featuring for them as well. There's also a case for Joe Hugill to get a start or to get featured. Joe Hugill's a bit more physically ready, I think, whereas Charlie McNeil is slightly more prolific, although they both do banging the goals for fun. I expect them to feature next season. I don't think they're going to go out on loan. I think they'll be in and around Manchester United, and hopefully we can see him maybe get a couple of appearances for United, maybe make a couple of the squads, bring him in slowly, like we have done with Anthony Elanga, like we have done with Shola Shoretire, because there was a lot of people that were saying to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer about maybe you should give Shoretire a start or bring in these youngsters earlier on. Even Diallo, who we bought, give him starts, do this, that and the other, and he's been a little bit cautious, and I think that's worked for him, Ole. When you look at the way he handled Mason Greenwood, I like the way he handled Mason. There was a big sort of campaign almost to get Mason straight into that team because he was so prolific, and you've seen Charlie McNeil, I think, break Mason's records as well. Yep. But he waited, and I think he did exactly the right thing. And if you look at the way Mason Greenwood's career's gone, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to take a lot of credit for handling him in the right way, and now we're getting the best out of him, still at a very young age.
Yeah. Producer Cam's just sent me something there.
Go on.
Noel Gallagher's prediction for today's game against Wolves, because the BBC have decided that he's someone that they needed to get that prediction. Noel Gallagher.
Noel Gallagher, right. Let's get one thing straight on. Noel Gallagher's a Celtic fan for starters.
He is, I was going to say that. So he's gone for 7-0 to Wolves today.
Is he 12?
He is.
Right.
He is 12.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put 7-0 because that'll be really funny. For starters, right, let me say something about Noel Gallagher. He's about as Mancunian as I am Cockney. He lives in Belsize Park or somewhere, and he comes up here once a year to sit in his executive box and play Don't Look Back in Anger to Pep. And then that's like he's Mr. Manchester. If you love Manchester so much, mate, keep going on about it. Fucking stay here like the rest of us. But you don't. You live in London. So you stop giving it the whole Mancunian shtick, kid, because it's pathetic. Sorry, go on.
Great bit of producing there from producer Cam, just knowing that would just push the button of JY. Brilliant.
Honestly, he's a Celtic supporting Cockney. That's what he is.
I'm going to read now his full prediction on whether Manchester United will push City closer next season. No, because we're going to get better next season because we've had our main striker out for most of the season, so everyone else is going to get better by 10%. We're going to get better too. So I'm not sure United have got a prayer unless they get Howland or Kane and a decent holding midfielder, but I can't see it. United have only benefited from Chelsea and Liverpool being a bit rubbish for most of the season. I think they'll be lucky to get fourth next season.
What do you do? Well, listen, I wouldn't even ask Noel Gallagher for fucking songwriting advice anymore, let alone football advice. So, yeah, you can say that if you want. Listen to him. Like I said to you, he's not a football analyst, he's not a football expert. He barely went to fucking watch City before Oasis made it. He used to be driving around in bloody Celtic scarves, didn't he, going on about he supported Celtic, and now he's changed his mind and he's a big City fan because obviously City are winning things. So, yeah, someone's saying what's wrong with Celtic. There's nothing wrong with Celtic, but if you are a Celtic fan, don't go on the telly pretending to be a City fan all the time.
You've Celtic a lot of time for me not to say something. I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Cam shouted out the window before. No, I'm not.
Say what you're going to say.
I might as well not say it.
Right. Nah, I'm only messing. Listen, I'm a big fan of Noel Gallagher. He's me third favourite Gallagher brother. Philip Glover says...
Top three, done well.
What?
He's done well.
He's in the top three.
Being in the top three is good.
Behind Paul and Liam, he's my favourite. Philip Glover says, I noticed Wolves have safe standing in Molineux. Are they the only Premier League or English League side to have it? I know. I'm not the only English League side. I think there has been safe standing elsewhere as well across in the lower down in the leagues. Can't remember where it was piloted, and I knew this and I've forgotten. It's somewhere like Shrewsbury. I think it's Shrewsbury, but forgive me if I've got that wrong.
We'll still talk about that in Old Trafford.
It will be at Old Trafford. Where we sit, or where my original ticket is in the in J stand. That's where it's going to be safe standing. They have the rail seat in there. I think that's going to be that's going to be where Andy Tate's going to be as well. I think that should be for next season. James Gillespie says Frank Gallagher's better and speaks more sense. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, and at least he lives in Manchester. Vineeth VS says, are you pro Kane to United, Jay? Baggers, I'll let you answer that one.
Yes, of course you have to be. I don't think it's going to happen, but you take him tomorrow.
I'd have Harry Kane at Manchester United. Yeah, I think Cavani needs an understudy. But
guaranteed 20 goals a season, minimum.
Yeah,
in the Premier League.
I don't know if it's going to happen. we'll have to wait and see if that one happens. There might be a little bit of sort of column inches, shall we say, spent on that one. Because you put Manchester United and Harry Kane in the title, you're going to get people wanting to know about it. I don't know. If City want him, I think they'll get him. My theory that is, I don't even know if City really want him.
I don't know whether City want him. I don't know whether... I think he's kind of said things about him wanting to go there and all this kind of stuff. He's been talking about De Bruyne this week and all that kind of stuff.
Read that name.
Yeah.
That's one for you, that.
Yeah.
Go on.
Tommy Dick Fingers. Tommy Dick Fingers.
Hey, gave him, what is
Fingers.
it? Burnley Wallet. Kieran Hughes says, we need more J. Martin or Gallagher rants on a consistent weekly basis.
We'll start a new podcast.
Yeah, we
Is
probably
that your
will, because
fifth
he always
croissant?
pops up, doesn't he, out of the woodwork. Charlie Young says, if he's getting 20 odd goals at Spurs, then he will get 30 or 40 at City or United. I mean, he gets about 30 anyway, doesn't he, in all comps, I think. The only thing with Kane as well is sometimes he misses an important part of the season with his injuries. His injury record isn't bad. If you look at the amount of games he plays, he regularly plays in all competitions, sort of 40 or 50 games. The trouble is, he's missed like a month here, 2 months here over the last few seasons. Usually at the business end of the season as well, like the March time, squeaky bum time, as Sir Alex Ferguson often refers to it as. Yeah. So that's a little bit of a concern. I personally don't think he's going to be 150 million. I just don't. I think that it's a very small pool of teams that can afford him. I think the fact that he wants to leave and the fact that Daniel Levy won't want to sort of get less for him further down the line may mean we can get him for just under 100 million. I know some people won't agree with that, but we'll have to wait and see. One thing's for certain, whether it's Kane, whether it's Sancho, whether it's someone else, United need to make signings. We need signings that can come straight into the team as well.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Would you have Ronaldo?
Yeah. I don't care how much logic you can give AJ about him being older and it wouldn't be the same and it costs us $500 a week. Of course you take Ronaldo.
Yeah,
So the big question is, would he take the 7 shirt off Cavani? That's more
Of course he would. Of course, are you
Edison,
crackers?
off you go.
Hey,
give me that
don't
back.
Be silly. Like, there's absolutely nailed on.
I think
that Cristiano Ronaldo comes back and takes his old shirt back.
I think
he ain't gonna just take
chance
number 23 or whatever.
I don't know. I think that happens if someone like Pogba ends up getting sold.
Yeah.
I think Glazers panic and go, we've got wages to spend, not got any cash. We'll get Ronaldo. We'll give him $500,000 a week. Done. Yeah. That'll keep everyone happy. And for as much as it won't help us in the slightest, and we'd be all over the place, and we'd be trying to fit him into the team, it'd be well good, wouldn't it?
It would be good. It would be. I mean, the thing with it'd be good for like when he signed, because everyone would be partying. It'd be like, oh, he's come home, all that sort of nonsense. Everyone would be partying, and then it'd be like,
and he scored 9 goals.
Yeah, the reality might be different. I mean, he's still scored a lot of goals for Juve. He's won every single trophy in England, Spain, and Italy.
Yeah,
he's done all right.
He's done all right, lad.
Not too bad. Has he ever won the Europa now?
No. Which, if he stays at Juventus, it's looking like they might have. That's the only thing he can get to next season. They're in the Europa League spots, aren't they? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, I think they are. I think that's why there's a lot of talk of him going or coming here. We are going to go over to Andy Tate, Joe Smith and Stephen Howson. They're going to take you through the game, Manchester United against Wolves, of course, and then we're back for our time, so make sure you stay tuned as well. Let's hear what the lads have to think about the game and the lineup as well.
What do you reckon?
I wasn't far off it, to be honest. I didn't have a Langer in my preview. I did have Greenwood coming in. Hey, can we turn Alex down, please? Because
thank you.
Got him
sounds like he's fucking
in my ears,
digging a hole somewhere.
Yeah, in his gooch. Can I have the team back up, please? Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, I got it pretty bang on, apart from Langer, really.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean,
I had De Gea in that as well, actually.
I went pretty much full strength. No, well, I didn't. I rotated a few, thinking that we'd obviously rest some players, but that's except maybe Eric Bailly, full rotation.
Oh no, Joe, I got 8.
Yeah,
it's falling to pieces at the seams here, this Joe.
It is. You thought you'd done really well, and you got like 3 of them.
Yeah.
What do you reckon to that team?
Good enough. Let's have a look at the bench. Fish is on the bench, nice. Shoretire on the bench as well, nice. Fresh off winning Young Player of the Year.
Yep.
Definitely Mabry on the bench as well.
He won a different Young Player of the Year as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he won the Denzel Haroun.
What's the difference then, Steve?
The Denzel Haroun Young Player of the Year, former director of the club, lovely bloke. Is he under 23? No. I heard he's a lovely bloke.
Yeah.
So let's just call him a lovely bloke. Anyway, that's the under 23 Player of the Year. And Shoretire won the Jimmy Murphy Player of the Year, which is under 18 Player of the Year.
Andy Tate's here as well. How are you?
Afternoon, mate. Yeah, I'm good.
Last game of the season. How are you feeling?
We need a win. We've not won in 3, and I just want a win going into the final. So quite happy with the team, and I just want 3 points. That's it.
Are you feeling like this has been a good season? Are you feeling wistful? Are you looking back at the season as a whole, or are you just thinking, let's get this game out of the way, then we'll look at the season?
Yeah. The time for what ifs are later. So I just want to get this season done and get a trophy in the cabinet.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve? Have you been reminiscing? Have you been sort of quantifying this year as a whole yet, or are you going to wait till after the Europa League for that?
You've got to wait till after the Europa League. We could win 22-0 today and lose on Wednesday, and everyone's going to lose the shit. So I think today's quite irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. So stick to us to the end. Yeah. But Wednesday is what it's all about. So it's get through to Wednesday. Solskjaer's team talking. This is, hey, I haven't picked my team yet for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not.
Yeah.
And everyone's sitting there going, well, you have, because they're not playing, are they? But I think that's what he needs to do, is he needs to go, listen, you impressed me today. No one else is in form, really, apart from Cavani.
And maybe Greenwood.
Yeah.
I don't know, Greenwood is, yeah. But those are the two, innit? Yeah. Like, otherwise...
You're like, listen, there's spots up for grabs. There's certainly spots up for grabs on the bench, especially some of these younger lads. Go and impress someone. We've seen a youngster break through so many times. And actually, some people in the comments saying, who the hell is Fish? Or Will Fish is a centre-half, bloody good player. He was probably in with a shout of winning Young Player of the Year, to be honest. So he had a good old season too.
You say about the young players like having a chance to impress and get a start on the midweek. I think Van der Beek and Matic have got a pretty big game ahead of them today as well. I know McTominay's on the bench, Fred isn't, but both of them physically... There's question marks. I don't think McTominay's fully fit. Fred clearly isn't because he's not even on the bench today. I reckon Van der Beek and Matic, if they have a good game today, actually maybe could start in midweek, because we've not been great defensively in midfield, and now those two are out. Do you reckon they're sort of fighting for a place?
Yeah, the mistakes, I've got to say, against Liverpool, losing McTominay. So, they definitely, I would say they got a 70-80% chance of playing the way into the lineup for Wednesday.
What do you reckon on them two? Fred obviously not on the bench even today. McTominay is. Do you think there's potential for Matic and Van der Beek to start?
I don't know. He's really not having Van der Beek, is he?
No.
Really not having him. I guess if he put in a 10 out of 10 performance today, I'd love to be able to say, yeah, he's got a shot, but I wouldn't believe it.
Do you think he's put in any 10 out of 10 performances yet, Van der Beek?
No. No, he could score an hat-trick today, be man of the match, and he still probably won't get in Wednesday.
He had a good 8 out of 10 performance against Saints away. Outside of that, it's been all right, hasn't it?
He's not really like...
He's not stunk the place out, but he's just been all right.
Yeah. Matic, I reckon he's probably got a better chance of starting midweek than Van der Beek has, because he actually has started him in big games before.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. Matic has got a hell of a shout, although is he fit enough to do that? Couldn't answer that question.
No. And he might well be off to Roma as well at the end of the season. This team then, Wolves, not really been the side that they have been in recent seasons. Their manager's leaving. This is his last game as manager of Wolves. Are you surprised that he's leaving, Steve? And do you think that it's going to make this game even harder now because they've got a sort of last game in front of the fans, send the manager off with a win, or do you think, if anything, they'll capitulate because it's all over for him anyway?
Yeah, well, we saw when Sir Alex Ferguson, remember him, retired, United absolutely crumbled, and that fear factor wasn't there. And even though logically you're like, well, people should be playing to impress the new manager or this, that, no, it doesn't generally happen. So it could go either way. It could completely go either way with it.
Yeah.
I am surprised it's fell off for him. I think Nuno's a good manager. They've struggled with... He's had to change how he plays this year. He likes the 3-4-3, and he's had to sort of switch it up to like a 3-5-2 to sort of accommodate not having three forwards that he can play. Raul Jimenez is a huge miss for these. Neto's not always been injured, or sometimes been injured, and they've just not really replaced what they had.
No.
And now you found them in the situation that they're in where... defensively, they're pretty bang average, but the goals that they're scoring is terrible. So if you don't have goal scorers, and they've had goal scorers, they've just not been able to play the goal scorers, they create chances and they do all right. They just don't finish them. They're almost like another version of what Brighton have got going on, where they actually play decent football. They're just not... they haven't got the personnel to finish off what they're trying to do. So they could be a tough ask for us today, I'm sure. But, we'll see how it goes.
But they've, like I said, they have lost a 20-plus goal a season striker in Jimenez, haven't they? Which is at any level hard to replace, especially for sort of a mid-table team. Are Are you expecting us to win today, or do you think the fact that the manager's leaving, the fact that it's the last game of the season, they are at home, Wolves? I'm not sure if this is their first game in front of fans this season, but it's certainly one of the first games in front of fans. Do you think that makes it even harder for United? And then you add to the fact that we've rotated.
Very emotional day for the manager, and I can't believe Wolves are letting him go, to be fair. Because next season, I think Wolves are going to struggle.
Have they said who they're getting in yet?
I don't think so. Not that
I could see him at Spurs next year.
Wonder if it'd be Jose. Oh, he's only got Roma in it.
Yeah.
Wonder if it'd be Jose.
I don't wonder that because it's not him. But Wolves 12th this
basically,
season.
like it's like George Mendes's play thing. He'll end up there one day. He's slipping right now.
You think?
Yeah.
Jose, you mean, not George Mendes? Manager.
Yeah, because they're going to get someone in who's obviously not Jose for 6 months until it goes tits up. He's going to last a year or so at Roma before it goes tits up.
You think?
Yeah.
That's
Come on,
mad.
Jose's just he's sour
good.
milk at the minute.
Get me McCarthy back in.
Yeah, they'll do it. Well, they're 12th this season, which, you know, the teams that are above, you look who they've been better than this season: Palace, Southampton, Newcastle, Brighton, Burnley, Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United.
I mean,
they're not ahead of any of the big teams.
They reached the quarterfinals of the Europa League last season, and they played on overload, didn't they? Maybe last season's exploits have taken a toll for this season as well.
Yeah, they've been good for a couple of years now, haven't they? A team United have struggled to beat.
They're bogey side for us.
Yeah, definitely. Just looking at last season's table, Wolves finished 7th, ahead of Arsenal, ahead of Everton, ahead of West Ham, ahead of Villa. Like, they were better than a lot of decent teams this season, and then they've just completely gone backwards. So,
just losing a striker.
Yeah, as simple as that. Let's have a little look at United then, because I want to talk about. Obviously, we'll get into our player of the seasons and season reviews coming up next week, coming up after the Europa League. We'll be recording and looking at our player of the season, but just as a little bit of a reflection on this season and on comparisons to last season, United obviously finished 3rd last season. We will finish 2nd this season, but also let's not forget last season we finished 3rd on equal points with Chelsea, and up until the last day of the season we could have not even finished in the Champions League spots. If we'd have lost to Leicester, we would have been outside of the Champions League spot. So it's not like it was close. This season we're 2nd even before this game is played. We scored 66 last season, conceded 36. Now this season we've scored more, but we've also conceded more. Just wait till this loads up quickly. This season we have scored 71, so 5 more goals, but conceded 43. So we've conceded a lot more goals. Our goal difference is actually worse than it was last season. But obviously we've scored 71 goals, which is the 2nd most in the league, and only 7 behind City. Do you think that is, obviously that finishing 2nd is progress, but do you think scoring more, conceding more is better than scoring less, conceding less? Or do you think it's kind of, almost a coin toss or what?
2 games skewed this massively though. The Southampton game where we won 9-0, probably Leeds as well, and the Spurs game where we conceded 6.
Yeah.
Like, that's massively skewed both of those.
4 against Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
So,
but of course we're going to score a lot of goals in some games because we're a good team. So you can't take it out because we scored a lot.
No, but 9. How often does 9 happen? Not often. Is how often. So that's a bit of an anomaly, isn't it? And that's all I'm saying. It's a little bit of an anomaly. The start of the season with no pre-season, we was in all sorts of shit. Liverpool shipped 7. Right, against Aston Villa. And they can say what they want. Van Dijk played in that game. Yeah. So it was before he died. So
didn't City concede 5 against someone as well?
Leicester.
Against Leicester.
So, the start of the season was bananas.
Yeah.
So, there's going to have been weird results that happened in there. I wouldn't, try and pull out, trend from this season to last season, because last season was a weird one with the way it was paused for 3 months and then restarted and stuff like that. And then this season's been a weird one with no fans, and basically everyone's home record that they had has just been slung up in the air. Everyone's had a worse home record.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone and improved their away record. It's wild. It's almost inexplicable, and it shows the impact that having fans in a stadium really does have on people. So I think that any of those trends are probably going to start to get reset somewhat next season as fans are allowed in, whether that's full capacity or half capacity or whatever. It's still going to have some kind of an impact. Mm-hmm. But, it's an absolute mad one, isn't it? So
do you not look, in your eyes then, is this season been roughly as good as last season and not much better? Or
no, I think you look, at the end of the day, when we came 2nd under Jose, we had 81 points. That would have been enough to win the title in the treble season. Mm-hmm. But did we win the title? No, we didn't. Did it feel like we were going to win the title? No, it didn't. So comparing points across seasons is fucking nonsense. Where did we come? We came 2nd.
Yeah.
We came second to a very good Manchester City team who skated through this season like untroubled because they've got 2 good 11s. And nobody else has got that kind of luxury. And I think if we were to run this season back without some of the difficulties that we've had, Manchester United had the worst pre-season. United had the shortest pre-season. We had the longest last season because of getting to the Europa final, semi-finals, which was played almost like this post-season tournament. Remember? Like, I mean, people even forgot how that went down.
Yeah.
So where everyone else was having their break and then getting back into gear, United didn't get that luxury because we were still playing European competition. Then we had the shortest rest for pre-season. Then we had the most consecutive games played with a midweek game, 51 games played. We had the most condensed Christmas period. You know, all of these things have led to a factor to be where United are. And we went into this without the perfect squad as well. I think United have done bloody good this season. And if we end it with a trophy on Wednesday night, I think you've got to say this is by far the most successful season we've had since Alex Ferguson. I can't believe how many people forget that Jose came 6th when he won the Europa League. I've had people arguing with me going, came second.
I've heard people on the radio saying that, and they're like, well, you know, it's not as good as the season, or you might only be able to match the season where Jose came second and won the Europa. It's like, they weren't the same season.
2 different seasons, mate. You can't just combine seasons and go happy days. It's not like what Liverpool when they won the Champions League and the Premier League and they just pose with them both.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
No. What do you think, Andy? Do you think this season's been better than last season? I mean, Steve obviously thinks so.
It has, but it could have been a little bit better if you think about. I don't want to dwell, but certain games we should have sorted out and could have got a bit more points on the board.
And maybe the Leicester game is the one as well which stands out for me in the FA Cup where we were just so shit in that game.
Oh yeah, if you beat them,
you didn't quite get up for that.
You beat them. That's you could go on to win the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And Solskjaer, just say what he said previously in the build-up in the week, it didn't help him.
Yeah.
And they said the players are tired. I'm not using an excuse, but they're tired. But it could have been an FA Cup fight. It could have been a cup double.
Yeah.
Because I think we could have beaten Chelsea. Would have got past Southampton. No disrespect to Southampton. But
you'd expect United to be heavy favourites, even if they didn't win. You would, it's not.
You
bad
had
to
one
assume.
stinker all season, and you had to have it in a major cup competition. But I just hope we've got an away record to protect today. Go the entire season away unbeaten.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to mention to Steve, actually. This away record, I know some of it you've already kind of put down to no fans in the stadium. Everyone's away records are a bit better than they usually would be. But how big a thing do you think that is? Because I don't know if you can remember a time or if I'm just misremembering an obvious one. I can't think of a time in my lifetime where that's happened. And maybe it has and it wasn't made a big deal of because we used to do crazy things like that under Ferguson. But that's a pretty rare achievement if we do go all season unbeaten away from home. But how much can you sort of replicate that next season when fans are back?
Yeah, again, it's nice. It doesn't mean anything. It's like when Arsenal drew their way to a title. It's one competition that you've not lost in.
Yeah.
Like Andy said, we lost against Leicester. If we hadn't have done this, we'd have been potentially FA Cup champions of the world.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about winning trophies. You want to win as many trophies as possible. I trade getting absolutely spanked at the Etihad instead of losing to Leicester.
Yeah.
And actually managing to get an FA Cup final in there, because ultimately it's about what can we win. Who gives a toss if you drew a load? I honestly think it's noteworthy, but it's hardly the achievement. The achievement is the winning of stuff. So, we came second, but we didn't lose a game away from home. Who gives a fuck at the end of the day?
But if you're looking towards trends and reasons to be confident that we might be back towards winning stuff, being difficult to beat, I know we've lost 6 times this season.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
some of those have been in strange circumstances.
It's mention worthy, but it's not an achievement.
No, it's not an achievement in and of itself.
No, that's it.
Like
when Arsenal drew their way to the league in 2004.
Yeah.
It's mention worthy, not an achievement.
You're on the same scenario. Look at Leicester.
Exactly. Winning the league was the achievement.
Do you want to win the FA? If you're a Leicester fan, do you want to win the FA Cup or do you want top 4? Now they're in a dire predicament today, like last season.
Yeah.
I'd take the trophy any time.
I think a lot of Leicester fans have said that, haven't they? They're way more happy to win the FA Cup and finish 5th than they are not to win it and finish 4th.
So always the trophies.
Because they ain't winning the Champions League next season.
Nobody remembers you finishing 4th.
No.
Or 3rd. Or 2nd.
Unless they go on to win the Champions League next season.
It's a trophy.
Yeah.
The amount of fishing puns in the comments is frankly disgusting.
Why? Because of fish in the comments?
Because of Will Fish, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I was trying to think of a fish pun myself, but I've done myself in.
Have you?
I apologise.
That's a shame, isn't it? Anyway, let's not carp on about that. Man United have not lost in 25 away Premier League games. And most of them are wins as well. We're seeing the graphic there. A lot of wins in there. For me, I think that is important. And like I said, noteworthy because if you're hard to beat away from home, you think in your head, well, typically we're going to be hard to beat at home because that's just how it goes. But this season, United have lost 6 times at home. How concerning is that for you, Andy?
Well, the pressure is no fans there. They can walk off the pitch without abuse ringing in their ears. If you think of the home defeats this season,
yeah.
So I don't think for the facts if the crowd was there against Sheffield United, we don't lose that.
No.
Against Everton, last minute, we don't concede that goal against Everton 3-3, and we see games out. We don't draw with Leicester. We don't draw with Fulham. That's the difference between crowds. And next season, any mistake, they're going to be scrutinised.
Do you think that would have helped United this season, or do you think it's just United are struggling at home for some reason, or do you think there's almost no correlation now because away and home are almost the same thing in terms of fans? Obviously, you don't have that familiarity, but what is that about?
I don't know. I think you need a sports psychologist to come and sort of kind of explain
Go
it
into
a little bit. Yeah, because it was seen, obviously the Bundesliga started first, didn't it? And I remember reading some articles because there was nothing else to read about football that hadn't been rewritten 500 times. So people was like, hang on, home records have just completely disappeared and they literally just went to nothing. And I think there's definitely something in the crowds, and I think we're going to see it once it comes back, just how important having crowds is for everybody. And, hopefully it means that people start to actually value crowds.
Yeah, you can see that. I mean, if you take the Man City game last game and what we played when we won 2-0, the atmosphere. Yeah, we were the 12th man. We got the lads over the line. I mean, the atmosphere was unbelievable that day, and it was like the intense, the pressure. You can thrive. Sometimes you can thrive in a pressure cooker situation with the crowds there. It just gives you an adrenaline.
Is it more of the impact on the opposition than the impact on our players? Maybe. Is it the nervousness of playing in front of 76,000 that sometimes prevents the opposition players from playing relaxing maybe, and that when they're relaxed, they're more of a threat to us, and maybe it's that. It might not necessarily be the impact on G'ing up our own players, more of the intimidation factor for the opposition players. We have no idea because no one's done an A/B test on this, have they, to figure out, and we'll see. If United do end up flipping this now and being a bit shit away, but like flawless at home, it'll be interesting to see if that's how it goes down.
Yeah, very interesting. We've got about 10 minutes till kick-off.
Safe standing, by the way. That's what I was pointing at before. Safe standing in one of the ends there at Wolves.
I thought United have got some coming in next season, haven't they? Is that still the plan?
Yeah, J stand.
Yeah. What is it, 1,000?
Is it J stand or is it Stretford end?
It's one of the two. Jay mentioned it before. I think it's J stand. Could be Stretford end as well.
Is it 1,000 United fans? Or 1,000 seats got turned into, what was it, like 1,100 or 1,300 safe standing things?
Nice. It's the block in front of me and J stand.
Is it? And I think that's probably talking about it on television.
You sit there with a thing. Do you think that's going to make a difference in terms of, like, do you?
Yeah.
Standing. Can't beat standing.
In terms of crowd and atmosphere and stuff, because that's what it's there for, isn't it? Or is it not?
One of the things with safe standing is, and I wasn't aware of this, like if you've got 1,000 seats, you can put 1,500 safe standing seats there. Because they're a little bit narrower and it's a bit safer to obviously have. The thing is, where I'm in tier 2 of Stretford end, right? You see people go right down, row after row when it goes off sometimes. Or
falling down. You see people just like avalanching past you, don't you? Yeah.
I've worked on building sites. There's some of the falls that you have on football stadiums in the crowd.
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't be allowed as a safety issue on a building site. You'd have to have a handrail there.
Yeah.
Some of the drops that you have.
Sweet, you can just literally just like fall down 40 rows sometimes. I don't know. I think obviously it will help, but there's part of me that just thinks, like, you look at Tottenham charging 60 quid a ticket to be in the top tier.
Yeah, classy at that.
Like, that is the reason why one of the big reasons, we spoke about this before, is that the average age of football fans, and you've said this, it's gone up in the last 20 years. Yeah. It should be. Well, there should be plenty of spaces and prices available for lads in their teenage years, 20-year-olds, to be going to watch football matches. Unless you've got a student loan or your mum and dad paying for you, you can't afford to.
Sometimes football's an escape for people. Yeah. It's an escape. For a few hours, you get away from the stress of daily life. And to charge you 60 quid, the joke's on Tottenham. Yeah. I mean, Burnley, fair play, they let them in for free.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I didn't realise that. That's good.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Against Liverpool, fair play to Burnley.
Yeah, that is good. But yeah, I just think safe standing is a good thing. I think it's a good idea. And there is, for everyone who doesn't know, there is still seats. Everyone still has a seat. You're just allowed to stand up, and it's slightly narrow. There's a bar in front of you.
Would that, depending on the licence on the day against the team you're playing, would you have standing against Liverpool, or would you have seats?
I think it's stuff like
Game
in
by
the Champions
game?
League. I don't think you're allowed it.
It's on stadium licences.
Right.
So one of the things that we used to get hit with all the time in the 90s and early 2000s, and at one point they even put like a banner up. Not a banner, like a sign up, which was like, you are prohibited as per like Old Trafford's operational safety licence to be standing up except for in times of extreme excitement. And I was like, well, that's subjective, surely. What's excitement? I'm excited. I'm at the match.
Yeah.
So I'm standing up for 90 minutes.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember that. The inside scoreboard and Stretford end were all standing up for about, I think it's about 5, 6, 7 weeks. And it went on, got in the news and everything.
Yeah. Just in the comments, if you're spamming, even if it's something we agree with, can you not, please? Just posting the same thing over and over again. I understand what your point, and I largely agree with you, but it's difficult for other people to comment and chat in the comments if you're just spamming the same thing over and over again. So we don't want to have to mute you for saying what you're saying, but make your point and then don't spam it 100 times in the comments. Because
he's talking to you that keeps saying Free Palestine, which is something I definitely agree with.
Yes.
But you like... spamming it's not going to help, and actually it might do you harm because you might get blocked by YouTube by doing it.
Yeah, so just, make your point, but you don't need to put it, it's literally in there 200 times in the last 10 minutes.
But I absolutely agree, Free Palestine.
Yeah.
Robert McCarthy's dropped in a super chat. He says, talking about sports psychologists, do Paddock want/need a voluntary sports psych? I've got experience in the Premier League and I'm based in Ashton. Email me. Go on my Twitter, there's an email on there.
Email it. Very good idea.
No dick pics. Classy dick pics.
Don't say no.
Classy dick pics.
Because if it's got a top hat and a moustache drawn on it.
Well lit dick pics only.
Yeah, like professional standard, professional grade.
Yeah.
We've got 5 minutes till kick-off.
Well, it goes to... Cam in my ears just said, I hope you get so many. Well, it goes to mitts, so...
Yeah. 5 minutes till kick-off, Andy, and get your score predictions in the comments as well. What is the score going to be today? Manchester United versus Wolves. Last game of the season. He's played the kids. What's it going to be?
I'm going to go 2-2.
I could see that, I don't think that's a bad prediction at all.
The kids will flow.
Do you want to bear that in mind? United haven't scored more than one against Wolves in, I think, 8 games, or certainly since they've come back up from the Championship, which is an insane stat that was brought to my attention from Jordan, on the preview, or just for the preview. United not scored more than one against Wolves in the league since they were promoted from the Championship. Score prediction. 2-0.
A really difficult one this today with a rotated side and like motivations being a bit all over the place. Let's say 1-1.
1-1.
Boringly.
That's funny. A couple of draws been predicted. I think it's going to be a tough game today. I think we're going to struggle to get a lot of goals. This team, even if they were, if they weren't a young team, they haven't played together hardly at all.
Harry Matthews with a comment. Who's missing out on top 4, lads?
Leicester. Definitely.
I think it's Liverpool, mate.
Never say never.
Who they got? Villa?
They're flying at the moment, I understand. But
Chelsea have
Palace.
got Villa. Leicester, Liverpool have got Palace, and Leicester have got Spurs.
And I think Tottenham will be desperate to get Europa League. So
I think Leicester and Liverpool are on the same points there, but Liverpool have got 4 better goal difference. So you can rule out basically the idea that Liverpool will win, and then Leicester will win by 4 more goals than Liverpool will win by. So we can rule that out. So basically, Leicester have to beat Liverpool's result. If Liverpool draw, Leicester have to win. If Liverpool lose, Leicester have to draw. And then Chelsea, obviously.
Chelsea drop out, then it's last chance saloon next Saturday.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cam.
Yeah, it's a big one. I'm going to go for my prediction. I hope we can be defensively more sound. I think we'll struggle. I'm going to go 2-1 United. I think it's going to be tricky, but I'm hopeful that Matic can shore us up a bit at the back if he just sits back and we can get...
And it's live!
Yeah, a lot of score predictions. 2-1, 1-1, 5-5. Kieran says 5-5. That's bold.
Well, it happened Fergie's last game, didn't it? Last
Yes.
game of the season. Absolute scenes.
You do get funny results at the end of seasons. Just play. It's a game. It's a kickabout. It's a bit of fun.
It is. Aaron Quinn says, if you want a good time, get high and dream of a refurbished Old Trafford, Academy Stadium, and all state-of-the-art facilities. Have a good day, lads.
Someone's got into the Molineux there with a Halloween mask on.
Is it Slipknot in it?
Was it Slipknot?
Some sort of Slipknot. I don't know what the reference is there, but I think it was a Slipknot mask. Josh Hughes with a super chat. Thank you for that, mate. No chat, but just sent that in. Thank you very much. People saying 2-3. Lemonhead says 1-1. Diallo and Van der Beek to score. I mean, you'd like it, wouldn't you? But I doubt. I can't see it. Who do you want to finish top 4? Is it just as obvious to say Liverpool 5th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liverpool 5th.
It's
All
pretty
day
easy,
long.
that one, isn't it? Easy question.
Mr. Sagittarius, so read our comments then, lad. I met Steve near a comedy club, shook his hand, was walking his dog for a slash. It was 2018. Dog walked Steve to back alley. Steve had his slash. Dog took him back home.
That's true. I believe that, definitely. Your dog takes you out for a piss. There's no denying that. What do you think to this United team? Do you think it's a good team? Do you think it's just playing the kids? Or do you think there's some players in this team that, looking at obviously Diallo, Elanga, Twanzebe to a certain extent, in terms of next season, these lads want to be playing 25, 30 games rather than 4 or 5.
That's your team talk, surely.
Yeah.
It's motivation for next season. You play today, you can be part of next season.
Twanzebe's been a weird one this year, hasn't he? Because it looked as though he was going to push on, and he really hasn't.
The lad's he needs game time. He's made mistakes, but I think he's got potential.
Sensational against Paris, and then looks shite against Besiktas.
Yeah.
So it's just game. You just need game time.
Did you know, on the floor of the changing rooms at Molineux, they've got a massive football pitch, sort of to talk tactics and stuff on.
Huh. Or you could
rather
say
than having it on the wall and that.
You could say a tiny football pitch, depending on your perspective.
Good point, well made.
But everyone's looking down.
It's a massive football pitch.
Just as that.
About that big.
Stop it.
An eighth of the size of a normal one.
He could be, I think the Wolves manager, he could be the next Portuguese coach. You never know.
Maybe.
After the Euros.
Yeah, after the Euros.
Good manager. And for a long time, he was linked with the likes of Tottenham, and even I think he was linked with the Chelsea job for a while before Tuchel came in. He was very highly regarded and very highly rated. And then it's just slipped away a bit this season, hasn't it? But again, probably can put that just down to
fell out with the owner.
The chip lad. Did he?
That's what I've heard.
Josh Hughes says, was meant to have text, just reserved my season ticket for next season. Sat right by the tunnel. Very nice. Very nice indeed.
Can't wait to go back, man. I'll go to much as football as I can next season.
Yeah, you think?
Any even on league, I'll go with my dad as well. Just take him, get out of the house, watch some football. I'll even look at the pre-seasons. See what's
How long do you think that'll last though? Because I've seen people already whinging about it's too cold at the pub. And at first I was like, I don't care how cold it is, I'll put my puffer jacket on.
That's because
you staying out.
knobheads.
It's May.
No, I don't know him.
It's
you
May.
see it online.
People are wearing
viral
jackets.
tweets.
Where's the sun?
No, they're viral because they're knobheads.
Yeah. But I don't know him.
We all went and shivered like men, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what everyone did.
Yeah,
That's the right thing to do.
fucking really happy. I'm having a fucking pint. Make it an extra cold one. Jesus.
Matt's last game for United?
Yes.
I hope
and fair enough?
Yeah, but I hope he stays in, maybe in the goes on the coaching staff.
He's going Italy, isn't it?
Is he?
I think so.
What,
he's still got some years in him, surely. He's only, what is he, 33?
He'd kill it in Italy, yeah.
He got to Roma, John Jose.
Don't know. Do you think he's might be the slowest player that's ever played for Man United, do you think? Can you think of anyone slower?
Well, he's got football mind.
Yeah, he's a great player. I'm not knocking him as a player, but in terms of his 60-yard sprint must be about 14 seconds.
Neil Webb.
I never saw him play.
I did. Webby was really good. 89. What a goal that was against Arsenal.
People saying Laurent Blanc.
Not quickly, yeah, Laurent Blanc.
But Laurent Blanc, the difference is, though, he was 8 inches taller than Matta. So just from stride length, he might have a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, Larry White was slow.
He was. But Matta's 5'7".
Do you remember Laurent Blanc's only goal for United? I'm sure Steve Matt.
I don't know.
Tottenham.
Was it?
5-3.
Oh, shit.
I think that was the only one.
2001.
Yeah. I think that's the only goal he ever scored.
I had that just the full game of that recorded on a VHS for some reason, recorded off the telly. I don't know why I've got that, but that's at my mum and dad's somewhere. I'll go and watch that one day.
Treasures.
Yeah. We still love watching that. Fergal McClement saying, it's unbelievable sitting in second most of the season and us being half disappointed with the season. Yeah, that is definitely an improvement, isn't it? The expectation, we haven't had to fight for top 4 at all, really. It's been kind of set and certain.
Just grinds you when we were top in January for 2 weeks and you're like...
Yeah, but at the time, I was like, let's look at City's run. They're going to come up real strong. And, well, they came up very, very, very strong. Didn't they win 21 games in a row and then played us and lost?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And also, not just did they win 21 games in a row, but we lost Paul Pogba for 2 months. And we lost, who was it? Martial for 2 months as well. I know Martial wasn't scoring a lot of goals, but having to change people out. Do you think we'd have had a better...
Molineux just booed the knee.
Have they? I don't quite understand it. I don't understand really booing anything, to be honest. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Proper childish, isn't it?
It's time just to get on with the football now.
Boo! Like that.
Boo. What are you booing? Don't know, it's just funny, isn't it?
Boo!
Not really, yeah. Ivan Niek says, outside of the standard names like Kane and Erling, who should United sign, looking at the profile of younger English players?
We're not signing either of them, you maniac.
We might do.
Right, we won't.
Well, City ain't signing both of them, are they?
No.
No, that's good. That's good.
But is that the only option? City sign them or United sign them? Or maybe they don't go anywhere.
Might have a valid point. Because who's got the money?
City.
No,
United.
Are they going to spend 100 million?
Maybe.
Well, they're more likely to spend it than we are. Hang on. Did City have to take a £60 million loan out about 3 weeks ago to pay the fucking electric bill?
Yeah, but City have never spent more than 65 million quid on a player.
Apart from when they spent 75 on Mahrez.
It was 65.
All right, well, stop reading City propaganda.
What, and read the what?
My
the
propaganda.
financial
My
returns
propaganda.
that you haven't seen.
Are we getting into financial returns with City? Really want to do that?
Well, yeah.
Hey up, hey up.
Was that Matic just pickpocketed?
Yeah, Matic got tackled by Traore there. Luckily, he can't shoot. Fucking has he got? I thought he had a gum shot.
He said, never done weights in my life.
That's not true.
And I eat a salad 3 times a day, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never done weights. Yeah, fruit salad, though, that's the problem, isn't it? It's a chew bar. So outside of those big names then, because that's the point he's making there, who should United be trying to sign? If we aren't signing these big names, which you don't think we are, who should we be after?
Retool the squad correctly. Like, there must be some players out there that... I mean, I understand there's got to be a level of player that United can sign. Like, you have to know that they're proven in a top flight or international football to some degree. But signing everyone is a risk if they've not played in the Premier League, because the Premier League level of intensity is bananas. And going watching, like, I don't know, the French second division or something like that to see if someone's good enough to play for United probably isn't going to cut it. You are going to have to see them tested to a certain degree. And even that is a gamble. You have no idea, is that personality going to fit in with United? You have no idea, is that quality going to fit in with United? It's actually a lot harder than what we all assume because we've all played Footy Manager and FIFA. Like, is this person going to fit in with the squad? Is this person, does he want to come? Is a big one. Like, how many times have we must have put 10 months of work in? Is he the right player? Is he this, that, and the other? You rang the phone. You've finally managed to speak to the club and agree a fee, and then the player's like, nah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That must be shit, that. You've just done it all.
That must happen fairly regularly.
Yeah, must do.
Hey, do you fancy uprooting your entire family and moving to a completely different country? No. No.
Interesting, because we kind of wanted you to say yes to that question. Fergal McClements said, City getting a break at the Everton game was massive and has been completely forgotten this season.
Yeah.
What is that? I don't even remember that.
They didn't turn up.
Players...
oh, yeah, because of COVID.
COVID, yeah.
And they had like 4 players who had it and they just didn't have to play. I mean, yeah, fuck that. That was
convenient,
bullshit.
And it convenient.
Yeah, because, if you had... What was it? Even like if it was 6 players. If you had 6 injuries, you don't just go, I can't play, sorry. It's like, have you got 15 or 16 players without COVID? Yeah.
If you remember that,
then.
City were the biggest squad in the fucking country.
Yeah.
If you remember,
City probably got the biggest squad in the history of football in terms of price.
City were like 8th when that was cancelled, wasn't it?
Fucking rubbish. They were outside the top 4 though, weren't they?
Yeah.
They weren't number 1.
I had forgotten about that actually. And then like 2 weeks later, who was it who had like 3 or 4? Was it Sheffield United who had loads of people with COVID and they didn't cancel that game? City gets some right shit like that, don't
Only
they?
talks, don't it?
I don't know. I don't think they're bribing him. I just think it's just political pressure, isn't it, from a big team who throw the dummy out when they don't get what they want. But, I forgot about that.
Was it the other night the City bench went absolutely... When Brighton scored the winner and the manager celebrated, you're not allowed to celebrate. Oh, sorry if I offended you. The City bench go absolutely bonkers at him and he has to apologise. Balls up, man. It's part of football.
Yeah, ridiculous. Nathan Adams says Bellingham will be mint. He does look good, doesn't he? For a 17-year-old.
He started off pretty goddamn well over in that there Germany.
Yeah,
I'll say that for free.
One of the only players who looked any good against City as well in the Champions League for them. Everyone else was just a bit shy.
Joe, I think needs to be in the England team. And this is where everyone's going to go totally tits up with the England team because they're going to try and shoe on Grealish and Foden and Mount all into the same team. This is your Scold, Lampard and Gerrard for 2021. Pick one of them and fuck the other 2.
You think?
Yeah.
You don't think they could play together? Foden and Mount?
Maybe, but I don't think an international manager's got the time to make that happen. If they played for a club, yes, but not internationals. You kind of just got to like, here's how we're playing and go. And I would go with, honestly, it needs to be Rice, and I think I would find.
Go, 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 let go!
Oh my God, what's
so great! Unlucky.
I would
Great
go with
pass, that.
something, honestly, like a more functional midfield, like Rice, James Ward-Prowse, and Grealish as my three.
I think it's unfair to leave both of Mount and Foden.
What fucking life in fair is
but
it?
Grealish haven't played for 2 months,
All
and
right.
they've been smashing it, as much as it pains me to say.
My choice out of the three, if they're all fit, is Grealish.
Yeah.
If it's not him, I think I'll go with Mount. And then if it's not Mount, I'll go with Foden.
Yeah.
But I don't think... And here's what... every single time this comes up, people just try and throw in what they think is all the best players. And someone's going to be like, why are you trying to play James Ward-Prowse? Because he does some other shit. And he's also an absolute set-piece fucking master. He's like 2/3 of his free kicks go in. It's obscene how many free kicks, or 1/3 of his free kicks go in, which is still obscene.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got that in your locker, you fucking use it. And not only that, he's an actual pretty good footballer as well. And he does something that we haven't got in the England squad. We haven't got like a proper number 8.
No.
We've got loads of number 10s. We've got one really good number 6.
And then you got Jordan Anderson.
Yeah, you got Jordan Henderson who runs like a fucking shag donkey. Like...
What about
I've
Foden
seen-
on the left? Foden on the left-hand side. People putting him in over Rashford. What do you make of that?
That's just fucking wibbling it.
Yeah.
If Rashford's fit,
Oh,
which
go,
is
go,
obviously...
go, lad. Go on,
Go on.
shoot. Oh, look here.
Did well there, Alanga. Made some space for himself really well, and then just hit it as hard as he could straight
Andy,
over the
don't
bar.
clap into the mic, please.
That's
Apologies.
That's a good point. Does really well there. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
he's just
a
lifted it,
terrible
hasn't he?
shot in it. Yeah.
I was semi-joking. I was more sort of leaning towards a bigger point, which was I picked my forward three as Sancho, Rashford, and Calvert-Lewin, and I was semi-joking. Of course, I'm going with Kane in that. But realistically, what I'm trying to say is you have to go with what's going to be the most functional team. And are England going to take a game to France?
Hopefully not.
Or to
Try
Portugal?
Maybe Portugal, but probably not.
Maybe Portugal. Have you seen Portugal's team?
It's not as good as France's team, but it is good.
Well, it's 1,000 times better than England's team.
Who's the dark horses for Euros?
England, probably.
Yeah. England have bookies' favourites, aren't they? But they always are.
That's because people are
Because
betting in
people
England.
bet for him, yeah.
Yeah. Portugal's team's mega. France's France's second team gets to the semi-finals.
Yeah.
So if England could come up against who we got in the group, we got Croatia, we got Scotland, we got Czech Republic. England could play 4-3-3 on the front foot and absolutely fucking tater them three in the group.
Yeah.
But it's irrelevant because once you get to the quarters and the semis and you actually meet a good side that you need a second plan for.
Yeah.
So I would want to see England have that second plan and not be scared to play counter-attacking football. Because if you had someone like a Calvert-Lewin and you've got Rashford and you've got Sancho, you can hit teams on the break spectacularly. And if you want to win, it's about winning. It's not about who can play the most pretty fucking triangles or who can hold possession the most or whatever. It's about actually winning the thing. Do you think fucking Greece and Portugal give a fuck about it when they're looking at their European Cup trophy and they go, well, we didn't really play on the front foot in any of them games? Nah, we fucking won the thing and that's what matters. And too often, England pick the best players. And it's just like, he's our best player, he has to go in.
Yeah.
Why? Why not pick? Like, the fact that Michael Carrick got, like, less caps than fucking Gareth Barry is a disgrace.
Yeah.
The England managers bottle it time and time again. I don't think Gareth Southgate would be any different. If you've got the opportunity to try and find a blend of players that can work to a system and work for each other, that's going to be better than just picking your best 11 players. And that's I know that's what's going to happen. They're going to try and squeeze Sterling in there. They're going to try and squeeze Foden in there. They're going to try and squeeze Grealish and fucking Mount and all of these lot in there. And they're not going to have anyone to do the legwork for them. And they're not going to have anyone. They'll probably play Rice. I think he'll probably start. But they're not going to have anyone that does that donkey work. And you have to have a team. And that's the problem with England. We've always had the star players, but we've never had the team.
Unsung heroes, that's what we need. But we never have them.
I don't think he's going to start Sancho over Sterling, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's wrong.
You think?
100% wrong. But this is what it comes down to. What are you trying to do? Are you going to try and play Manchester City's way? Well, you haven't got the midfield to, so that's fucking ridiculous if that's the case. So
yeah, we don't have a De Bruyne, do we?
no. You don't have a Fernandinho,
no,
or a Gundogan. Like you've got nothing. Like you've got 2 or 3 players who play in that team, and one of them, Walker, probably isn't going to go. So like, you're going to try and base Manchester City's system around a player who plays about a quarter of the time in Foden, and a player that I reckon Pep would get rid of in a heartbeat if he could replace him in Sterling.
Yeah.
Whereas look at this sort of counter attack here now from United, using Dan James and fucking Elanga. Like, the system's going to be better than just picking 11 players. You can't replicate Manchester City and Pep's system with England in a fortnight. You're not doing it. And you're not doing it with them sort of players.
Yeah.
England should fucking put the pride aside and say, do you know what? We'd be an absolutely fucking shit-hot counter-attacking team. So let's do that.
And yeah, we haven't got the quality midfield to control games against big teams. We saw that against Netherlands in the Europa Nations, whatever it was called, Nations League, where we got to the final or the semi-final, whatever it was, and they just played us off the park. Just De Jong by himself played us off the park.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and the idea that we're going to be able to play high-pressing football against those sorts of teams and control possession, I think
But you
maybe
have
we can
got-
press and then counter-attack, but we're not going to be able to keep the ball like they can.
But that for me is where, like, I don't think Sterling's great on a counter. I don't think he's precise enough. But if you've got Sancho, who is excellent at it, and you've got Rashford, who's excellent at it. See, I know Kane gets involved in counter-attacks, but I'd want my 9 to be at the front of those counter-attacks. And I think Calvert-Lewin generally is that. Or he's someone that you can go as a plan B, as an option to direct. I think he's far better in the air than Harry Kane is. But Harry Kane's the captain and he's just going to play, so it's almost a waste of time even talking about why maybe someone else would be a better option to play. But that's the problem with England, is that they always go, well, he's a better player. So, oh my God, what a goal! Is that Elanga?
Elanga with the header.
Get in, lad.
Fantastic cross from Dan James on his left foot.
Great goal.
That was a brilliant goal. 3 times already in this game, Elanga's made space for himself and got in front of the defender, and he's done it again there.
Was it James on the cross?
Yeah, Dan James with his left foot. I'm pretty certain it was Dan James. Brilliant cross, whoever it was. Straight on Elanga's head, and a fucking bullet header back where the ball came from, near post.
It's not a big lad, Heifer.
No.
How
It's
old is
Tellez.
it? How
Yeah,
old is
Tellez
it?
plays it through to Dan James, who's miles on.
Miles on.
And then
He's just gone
that
fucking
is a wonderful cross. That is a
What an
fantastic
arc on
cross.
it.
Yeah, brilliant.
Keeper's pinned to his line. He's got he's got his head up and he's gone, I'm going to put it there.
Oh,
and good
great
movement
header.
from Elanga. Is it Ahmad text someone front post? That's good movement. Because
Yeah.
that's took Bolly, is it, away from
Yeah,
Elanga?
Bolly draws
and
in.
Elanga's just got his napper on it, right in the centre of the goal. And the keeper had no idea about it. That's fucking mint.
Yeah, and he's done well there as well, Elanga, because like I said, he's missed one decent chance already, and he's had another chance, and then to get that one in, brilliant.
City are winning in case anyone's asked.
Is it? Can we turn your vibrations off, Steve?
I didn't know it was on.
But we only do good vibrations in here.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a pretty good vibration from Elanga. That ball from Dan James was pretty sensational with his left foot, wasn't it?
It was put on a plate, wasn't it?
Yes. Amazing
Your cross, sir.
I know. I didn't know Dan James had that in his locker. Maybe he's been left-footed this whole time.
So yeah, I think England need to start actually figuring a system out and putting the players into it rather than seeing what they've got and then trying to make a system out of it.
You think we've got a chance of winning the Euros?
No.
Why not?
Because
like you said there, though, Portugal and Greece, that's 2 in the last sort of 4 or 6, 5, whatever it's been, have been real underdogs that have won it.
Right.
2004.
But what did both of them have?
White away kits? What do you mean, what did both of them have?
Both of them played to a fucking system.
Well, yeah, of course.
England's got too many superstars. That's definitely a foul.
Yeah.
England got too many superstars that are going to get pandered to, and a manager that's too fucking weak to come in and say, this is how... Like, it takes Bottle to play on the counter and not try and demand possession and to actually sit off, because the English press are fucking minging.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, why aren't we blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, 48% possession against Scotland. This isn't good enough.
2018 was our best shot, because if Harry Kane plays it to Sterling, we're through to the final. So
Unless
don't
he
give me fucking start.
Yeah, unless he just missed it from a yard out like he did in the
Yeah, it's
Champions
supposed.
League semi-final or whatever
Funny
it was.
Absolute banter.
There's no guarantee Sterling would have scored that. He's missed enough of them to make me think we might not have.
We won the World
Talking
Cup, but
about
we're
nine-
in a final.
Talking about a 90% XG there, I reckon.
Oh yeah, it would have been a yard out, but let's not think about it. I'm upset.
So that's why the reason why Greece did it. Greece had a plan and they stuck to it, and it was to play on the counter. It felt like Portugal had a bit of a plan, and they seemed very happy because how many times they got penalties? Was it every knockout stage?
I don't think they didn't win. They didn't win a single game I don't think in 90 minutes
Well, there you go.
in the knockout stage.
Sometimes you
Was that by design?
just got to go
Probably
for it,
not.
haven't you?
But
Go on,
like,
Dan
they was
James.
clearly happy to be the underdog in them games.
Yeah, tell
So-
us. And then obviously after Ronaldo got injured as well. He didn't play in the final, did he? Oh, that's a lovely pass around the corner from Tellez, and it's a corner to Man
Good
United.
tackle.
Some decent play going forward. Tellez looking as good as he has done. I know it's only 15 minutes, but he's been really shaky last few times he's played. He started off pretty well today. It's good getting that early goal, isn't it? Fucking hell. Alanga with a header.
Molineux's dead now.
Yeah.
Well, quiet.
Imagine what are the odds
sake.
on a Dan James cross and a Alanga header for the first goal would have been in this.
Bookies would have been like, just write some numbers on there and we'll pay out whatever you say.
Has he ever scored a header? Don't know. Has he ever crossed with his left foot? Don't know. Right, 50-1.
50? Put another zero on that. Bloody hell.
Corner to United.
Especially for the first goal.
It's a low one. It's a bit shite, really, but we've got another corner out of it. He scored that like he's Cavani, says Dusk.
It's been a goal at Ellen Road, but for who?
Who?
Leeds.
Against who are they playing?
And West Brom and City are 2-0 up inside 14 minutes. And Leicester are winning at the Spurs.
That's crucial.
That's
We'll
a
keep
big
you
one.
up to date with
Right. As it
with all the scores.
stands, as it stands, they're not in it.
No, they are.
Them.
Scousers.
Oh, Scouts. Sorry, yeah.
The-
We're not
them.
naming them. I get it.
Jesus
I get it.
Christ, lad.
I get it.
Them.
I get the little the thing. Yeah.
They're
We're
not in
naming
it.
them.
Jamie Vardy is doing the bizzo for Leicester.
Is that who scored?
Yeah.
Have you got alerts coming in for the United game?
Nope. Good lad. Do you think I'm a fucking idiot, Joe? Don't answer that.
Yeah. I'll try not to. No, I just didn't
Callum,
know
can
if
I
you
have
had
a charger down here, USB-C for the iPad?
Lovely, yeah, lovely. The iPad, the wife. Leicester have got a penalty as well, apparently.
Oh, and if anyone in the Manchester area has found my other iPad, please deliver
It was last seen in his car, and his daughter was playing with it. So my guess is it's still in his car, but he
not-
hasn't looked properly.
No, I have looked properly. It's
If you
fine.
find it, can I have it for 50 quid?
Fine, yeah.
Wait, for free? You want the 50 quid?
Yeah.
All right. There. Where's your car?
I've looked in my car. It's not in my car.
Have you given it a Joe look?
No, I've given
I'll
it
take
a-
the fucking seats out, mate. I'll go full scrap heap
I've-
challenge on that car.
I've had a proper look.
Have you?
Yeah.
So where was it then? Let's talk us through the history of this iPad.
I was on my way to the match. I think I left it on top of the dugout at the football, I think.
Can anyone access it?
What?
Can anyone access it?
No, it's wiped. You can. Luckily,
That's right.
one of the best things with Apple is you can like remotely wipe stuff. So
Have you not? Have you done the old Find My iPad?
Yep.
Where did it say it was?
It said it was in the office.
Have you looked in the office?
Yeah, because it said it was in the office the day before it was lost. So
Interesting. We have a 24-hour gap here, and you remember leaving it on the dugout, do you?
no, but I remember taking it into the match.
So you've left it there. Do you think anyone's got it?
Don't know.
Some scally.
I hope so. If anyone's got Steve's iPad, you're allowed to keep it, but do let us know in the comments. Just funny, innit?
It's just a nice ornament to say you've got an iPad, then you're not going to, if you can't use it, it's useless.
What's Steve's car? I'm in a right granddad car at the minute, Anna.
I like it. It's nice.
It's a hire car. It's a
I seen it, it's
Vauxhall
nice.
Grandland.
It'll get you to church on a Sunday, and it'll get you to Fulton Foods on the Monday.
Tough, reliable, honest.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Like
The
Steve.
stereo and that's all right.
Stereo, God.
So
sake.
for like, no, how
Take
quickly?
Claire and that.
Shut up, you knobhead. How
Hey,
quickly
hey,
it links
hey.
to my phone.
What's that?
Joy, when someone rings,
Yeah.
it connects seamlessly, which is something I value.
Yeah.
But yeah,
None
it's
of this horsepower nonsense.
It's a
What's
proper
bloody stereo
fucking
like?
it's a proper granddad mobile.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a new car hopefully in the next month or so. Thinking about a Golf GTD
What's the D stand for?
diesel.
Didn't you drive
Diesel version.
Didn't you drive a Camaro in America?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
It was good.
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. Abhinav Verma says, people crying, Fernandes will want Bruno in their Euros team. What does that mean?
Let's try it again.
People crying Fernandes will want Bruno in their Euros team.
Oh, people who are crying Fernandes are going to put him in their Euros team in a fantasy league.
I get it. Sorry, mate. I couldn't quite get it. Yeah, people crying Fernandes will want Bruno in the Euros team. Bitter knobheads. Yeah, I mean, people calling him Fernandes are only saying that because they know how good he is. That's it. There's no other reason to say it, is there? Miles Van Eaton says, who wins in a fight, Steve's iPad or Joe's Kindle? Well, my Kindle would actually turn up for the fight because I know where it is. So probably that by disqualification. Steve's iPad can't really compete if it's not there, is it? And you don't just get to use Steve's new iPad.
Waiting on a cover for it. I'm terrified of not having a... The smart covers are well good for these, with that come with the keyboard.
Right.
But it's not here yet. It's coming tomorrow.
Someone says, try under the back seats.
Yep, I did.
Tried that?
Honestly, I legitimately looked everywhere and I can't.
In between the seats, as it fell down.
No, it's not. It's not in there.
Interesting. It's not glued to your belly like a Teletubby, is it?
It's not in there, and I
Hang on,
definitely
can't
need
you
it
track
in there.
them? Can't you track them or something?
Yeah, he's tried that, but he's
when the
come up with
battery's
the wrong
dead.
place.
When the battery's dead, it's not having it.
Right, United 1-0 up. Elanga with a lovely header. Have you seen much of Elanga, Steve? What do you know about him?
Honestly, didn't think he had it in him to come in and make an impact in the first team. Very good in his first season at under-18s. Good in his second season, and then waned a little bit. And he's the same year as the likes of Greenwood and that. Just thought, good academy player, but you generally have to be a bit special to be breaking through.
Yeah.
And I didn't necessarily think he had that special in him. I reckon, he's putting a good showing. The fact he scored probably helped secure him a pretty good loan move, I imagine, next year, because I think that's where he's going to be. He's not going to be part of the first team squad next year. I'd be amazed. But fair play, well done to him.
Yeah.
Good to see another academy product coming and doing.
Think he
bits
could
for
do a
United.
job in the Premier League on a loan move or
I wouldn't like to say yes in that, to be honest.
Championship.
Eric Bailly giving the ball away there. Terrible pass.
Great skill. Good defending.
Traore tackled by Matic and then played out by, I'm not sure, someone for a corner to Wolves. Free Steve's iPad. Yep. Abhinav says, I meant penalties are very important in knockouts. Well, yeah, definitely. Especially the way Portugal play. Like you said, Steve, they go to penalties about fucking 3 times a tournament. So,
I rate Adama Traore, mate,
Dear.
I'd say some probably fucking Kamimaya saying 0 end products, whatever.
But lovely big thighs, Steve, and that's all you care about.
Oiled up, man.
Built like a brick wall.
Cover this man in grease and he can play wherever he wants. Ideally it's Steve's house. Well,
shake it.
Is he good? I mean, obviously he's a good player. He plays in the Premier League every week, so he's not a shit player. As he absolutely lashes one wide there. But his shooting is a real problem, isn't it?
Erratic, Joe.
Not erratic. Shit.
All right, fair enough.
Erratic would suggest that sometimes he accidentally gets one in the top corner. He's really bad in front of goal.
Just needs a bit of guidance, Joe.
Fuck off. He needs the bumpers up at bowling. That's what he needs.
Oh, fuck off. Like you don't.
I don't get loads of goals, points, strikes, whatever. He's going to score now. I've said all this, but I mean, even if he scores today, I don't think anyone's going to start saying that Adama Traore is good in front of goal.
Joe, he's nearly got half a dozen goals and assists this year.
Nearly.
Goodbye.
Wow. Martial's got more than that, and it's been a season so bad that people are saying we might sell him. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he'll stay?
How many has he got for Wolves, though?
That's a good point.
Think Martial will stay?
Yeah.
I don't.
Unless we trade him for someone. Not trade him, but, part exchange, like trading your old phone.
There's going to be more deals in Vegas coming up this
You
summer.
fucking doubt it. I don't think it'd be like the
No, I'm just saying for the
You've got
options.
Euros, you've got a global financial crisis. I think there'll be about 5 transfers in total this year.
You think there'll be one major transfer?
in the whole of Europe?
I hope so.
I don't think.
I think Ronaldo's on his skates, but I don't know where to.
Chris Ronaldo?
Yeah, Chris
PSG.
Ronaldo.
Where could Chris...
PSG is the obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah, but...
And if they've ruled Portugal out...
PSG kind of is the obvious one, but then also, they haven't made a big signing in 3 years. So, do you know what I mean? They don't go mega every season. I don't know. I think... I honestly... I know it sounds... Everyone wants to not say no because it's United and, but we make as many, or not as many, but fuck off, diving twat there. We make almost as many sort of big money signings as anyone. And yet everyone wants to discredit us or discount us from every single big, like Di Maria, Lukaku, Pogba, Maguire. We've made big 65, 70 million plus signings. And PSG don't make that many. They just made 2 gigantic ones.
That isn't my phone that's business, by the way. It's someone else's.
Oh, interesting. Andy.
Rio's been asking him if he was having it anyway.
Asking what?
If he's coming.
Who's coming?
Ronaldo.
Right, to Man United?
Yeah, and he said no.
Well, why has he said no for? What's the point in lying then? That's upsetting, isn't it?
But he's had a truck go and pick up all his cars from Turin. The same moving company. I don't know. See, someone should have followed up on that, shouldn't they? And then would have been a lot wiser on where he's going.
Yeah.
But the same moving company he used to deliver them all 3 years ago has just come and collected all his vehicles. As if it's 3 years ago, that. Don't feel like 3 years ago, does it?
They moved to Juve?
Yeah, after the World Cup, wasn't it?
Didn't Ronaldo write off a Lamborghini in the Manchester airport tunnel around there or something?
Not Sergio Romero.
I'm sure Ronaldo wrote off a Lamborghini or a Ferrari.
It's very much pocket.
Could somebody
change,
quote me on that?
Traore looks like he's injured. He's laid on the floor.
He's moved all his
What do you
cars.
like about him, Steve? He's good. He's a good dribbler. He's quick, obviously. But what does he do that Dan James doesn't? And I'm actually being serious on that.
I think he's just better 1v1.
He gets past a man well and chips the ball in the box well. I'll agree with that.
Like, is he doing it for? Is he better with better players around him? Is it one of them? I see the potential that if he had better players around him. I also think that in the counter-attacking side, a bit like United, he could probably be effective.
Where is that vibration coming from? Very exciting times here at Stretford Paddock. Michael Z says, day in, day out, you produce the best content on YouTube.
Facts!
Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you.
I won't read the rest for the sake of no point slandering people or getting into any birth. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. Cheers for the super chat. Juan Martinez says, thanks to everyone at Paddock for helping us through the past year. Your steady stream of fantastic content is well appreciated. Green and gold, thank you very much. Thanks for that. Mark D says, what's Andy Tate's opinion on the upcoming alien invasion?
Alien invasion? Yeah.
You've not heard? You don't get the email?
No, I didn't get the email.
Are you not on the
How often have I been telling you about this, Joe?
Steve thinks that because some satellite's got a bit of someone shining a laser pen in it,
No,
that there's
you
aliens.
fucking chode. There's all sorts of stuff coming out. And the Pentagon are pretty much every week being like, yeah, there's aliens. And no one gives a fuck. It's actually bananas.
It's fucking American government testing new ships. Didn't you get the email? I'm more into zombies. I watched that new zombie film on Netflix last night.
Day of the Dead.
But zombies aren't real and aliens are.
How do you know?
How do you know that?
All right, well, I don't know.
Steve has watched E.T. in fairness.
Yeah.
Do you like E.T., Steve?
Don't really stand the test of time, does it?
No.
Joe, I did watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind the other day.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah, again, just special effects aren't very special.
Well,
Just
it was
call
the
them
80s or the 70s.
know.
whenever
I watched
E.T.
Jaws
came
the
out.
other
I think it
night.
was
That's
79.
still a classic.
Special effects in that shit as well.
Hey, jog on, lad.
I mean, they are.
For the time, they were brilliant. Do you know the actual name of the mechanical shark in it? What it was called?
Mike.
Bruce.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's
And it was
nice.
named.
I think you told me that before.
It was named after the attorney of Steven Spielberg. It was his solicitor. It was called Bruce,
Interesting.
and he named it Bruce.
A lone shark,
So
perhaps.
that's what Steve was doing in the military, testing out UFOs for future uses. I'd have loved to have done some shit like that.
You'd have fucking told everyone though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's
You would
probably
never
why
have
they
kept that
didn't let me
secret.
do
You'd have come out, you'd have literally been in the briefing room and they're like, right, top secret, fucking shut
What are you
the
doing?
soundproof door.
Twitter.
Yeah,
What?
exactly. See, come on, like, you heard all that about the aliens in
Steve
there.
only flies B-52.
You text Rio Ferdinand immediately and tell him that, hey Rio, guess what? Aliens exist. Look at this picture we've just seen. Look at the head on that. You'd be texting, wouldn't you?
Imagine you could
I have
say.
signed the
You think
official
he'd get in the
secret,
2008 Champions League team?
And when his army days at Stealth, the stealth bomber, you could see it.
Yeah.
Stealth bomber.
What do you reckon?
Flying a stealth bomber.
Well, no, I didn't fly.
Actually, quick question about
No,
the
but
army.
that's stealth.
And we won't talk about it for too long. Do you have to get used to shitting outdoors when you're in the army?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might have to. We've got a super chat.
Do you know what the best bit is?
Because thinking there ain't that many toilets when you're just like in.
Do you know what
a
the best
town.
bit is? You get like, I'm going to call it a pipe. And it's a pipe, it's a
not
pipe at a
so-
45-degree angle. I don't know about your aim. Going onesies, pretty good at that. I'm going to say I'm getting it like 80% of the time. Going twosies, it's basically just shitting at the edge of a pipe that's at a 45-degree angle to the ground.
You just dig an hole.
It's just, it's rudimentary at best.
You ever shut down a bazooka and fired it?
No.
Okay. Shahaz Shetty says Neves and Neto deserve to play in Europe. We should try and swoop them before Nuno pulls them into his next club. The fee shouldn't be as much because they're not in Europe. Do you like Neves and Neto?
I like Neves. Neto's a good player as well, to be honest. But I think you got to prioritise with some things, haven't you? And I think like United dire need a right winger, and I think there's something to be had there with Sancho.
Yeah.
I definitely think there is.
Does Rio text him?
Well, we asked him to come on the podcast, and he said no.
Oh.
Bit disappointing.
Very disappointing. But not for you, Neves and Neto, not necessary.
Neves, I would go for. Yeah, I think United need to remodel the midfield. And I know a lot of people want a destroyer. Kante's made a destroyer of a midfielder, someone that covers every blade of grass and tackles fucking statues, like fashionable. But we never had that in Michael Carrick.
No.
I think as long as you've got someone that's got a little bit of legs in there, and then you can have your creator that's a little bit more blah-de-blah, and that could be Bruno. And I think I would like to go down that route, and let's hold on to possession a little bit. And I'd love to see Neves at the bottom of the six with Pogba and Bruno. I think that'd be a very, very good midfield. And you've still got your McTominay or Fred to maybe make it a 4-2-3-1 against a more tougher opposition.
Yep.
But against your 60% of the league that you should just turn up and smash, go with that. Neves, Pogba, Bruno, Bosch. Let's have it.
Yeah, I agree with that. What do you reckon? Do you like Neves, Ruben Neves?
Yeah, I think he's all right. Yeah. I mean, like you say, we may not get marquee signings this summer, but we could do some wheeling and dealing, get some bargains out there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't see why. It's a possibility.
There are plenty of 30 to 40 million pound players that could, like you said, Steve, restructure this midfield and change the way we play for the better.
We got one. It just he's not played that much, has it?
That's true. Jared Murphy, we have any idea where Nuno is going after this? Full retiring or just moving club? Love the content, lads.
Portugal coach, I'm going for.
You think?
Yeah, after the Euros.
There were some rumours about the Tottenham job, but that's not really pushed on, has it, in the last few days? So we'll find out, I'm sure. Abhinav Verma, what if we dip Dan James in oil? Would that help him getting past players better? Yeah, get him an extra small kit, dip him in oil. Is that legal, by the way?
Seems it.
In boxing, it's not, is it? You can't grease up.
Yeah, you get greased up in boxing, yeah.
They put Vaseline on to stop cuts and stuff, but I don't think you can't oil your players up, can you? Oil your man.
You can't be greased up properly in MMA.
Yeah,
people still do it though.
Cheeky.
Was it aerodynamic?
No, when you're trying to put someone in a choke, if they've got oil on them, they're going to slip through your hands, aren't they? Oh.
West Ham 2-0 against against Southampton. 2-0, thank you.
Interesting.
How about when you interrupt me, be right?
Good point. Matt G says, if Leicester miss out on top four, do you think Ndidi would be a better target than Rice? Fred and Jesse plus 30 million. Rumours are they've bought Samaris as replacement. Ndidi is 24, 25 at a push. I think he might be 23 even, so he's young.
Perfect.
One of those players that you think,
to hit his prime.
You know he's going to hit a 70, 80 million transfer that again.
Yeah, going to Leicester's probably not a good idea because they don't need the money. And they don't want to sell. And that's the dangerous combination.
Sorry to go off. Ndidi is 24.
Jesus,
was 24 in December, so he's great age. To quote Soccer AM 15 years ago. Alanga coming at the back post again. They're good defending though this time. Do you think the top four thing will make a difference for them? Because they weren't in the top four when we bought Maguire off them and we got fucking bent over on a price there, didn't we? What do you reckon?
If they get top four, I think they can attract more players to add to the squad. So, I mean, we'll see what the next hour brings for them, don't we? So, if they get it, it's good luck to them.
Yeah. Dare Taylor said, and in quote marks, ever shut down a bazooka and fired it, can see why Jay was the one interviewing Sir Alex and not Joe. I wouldn't have asked him that because he doesn't have bazooka training. I would have asked him if he'd ever shot in the FA Cup and lobbed it at Jose Mourinho.
It was made up for Jay to meet Alex Ferguson.
It was good, that one.
That was like, it's your moment in your life, innit?
Yeah.
Because I've had that moment myself when I went to a Comic-Con and met some sci-fi stars. So that's his moment, and I'm so chuffed for him.
What about you, Steve? What's your big moment? Like, have you had one?
Cantona, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you do get him.
Coddled him.
Coddled him even.
Coddled him, and I could have just left it at that, in all honesty.
Got his email and phone number, didn't you? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Showed him a picture of when we took my Eric the King flag to Iraq and Afghanistan and that. And I'll never forget the reaction that he gave to that. That was enough. He went, whoa. And I was like, fucking
That's great, isn't it?
And then he went, send me this. And I was like, fucking right. I'll go get it you if you want.
I mean, I got it. That happened with me.
The Scousers are winning 1-0.
Met Cantona 2 weeks before. He's come back in '95, Joe, when he was training at the Old Cliff. And he signed my Cantona shirt and it said the King on it. And the smile when he seen it, the King on number 7, and he signed it.
Have you still got it?
No, unfortunately.
Set it on fire, didn't you?
My auntie was obsessed with Eric. she'd gone down to the cliff to watch him train. You used to be able to, you can't even imagine this nowadays. You used to basically be able to stand where their cars were parked, because the cliff's like pretty rudimentary. There's like one pitch, there's a gym, there's some offices, and then there's the players' car park. And fans just got to go into those things and stand at the side. And he said he's come walking over. He's wearing, do you remember the older Umbro like pro training gear?
Yeah.
He's come walking over like that, and he's just sort of stood and like looked at my auntie and been like, not saying anything, because his English wasn't perfect, was it, at the time?
How old was your auntie at the time?
20, maybe late 20s.
Great.
And he's just kind of like, just been sort of gesturing to her. Turns out she was standing like at his car door, so he couldn't get in.
She was standing on his car. She was on the roof of his car, spray painting the words "I love Eric Cantona" on it.
And she's gone like, "Hiya," to him, and he's like, "Hello."
Did he sign anything?
She didn't have anything to sign.
Oh, just sign my fucking head.
Just go to the cliff and watch.
My dad met Cantona. He was telling me about this week, reminiscing. I went to the cliff. He approached him at the cliff. Cantona thought, blooming hell, the size of my dad. But he just gives out the autograph of my dad.
That's
he
what
signed
you need.
it for my dad.
If you don't have anything
Brilliant.
to sign, Steve, true or false, you would stand there and rub your hands together until you got blisters on your hands, then peel the skin off and get him to sign that and frame it.
False.
Andy?
That's bordering on stalking.
That's
It is,
fucking weird behaviour, that.
It is, yeah. Juan Martinez says, Samari to Leicester for only 25 million. We never buy low. Yeah, but isn't Samari like 18 or 19 or something? He's a very young player, isn't he? So it's hard to know how he'll be. I know Leicester have a good track record, but even so. David says, did you guys see the article a few weeks back that United's digital presence is worth 90 million a year? How much do you spend on your digital presence, Steve, for Christmas?
Nothing.
Nothing. Interesting. Samari ain't that young. Okay, sorry. Well, either way, he's very unproven, even if he's not as young as I was saying there. So I think 25 million quid for a lad that's, very unproven isn't particularly cheap, although it's not expensive, obviously. He's 22. Okay. Joe Willock, 6 goals in 6 games. Dark horse for the Uros?
I think Invisible Horse for the Uros.
Invisible Horse. Would you ride an invisible horse to battle, Steve, just to confuse the enemies? Or would you rather you had to paint it so they could see it?
I'd have loved to have been in the wars when it was fucking hand to hand. Have some of that shit.
Which one would you go for? 100 Years War?
No. I think that once it was like red coat stuff was a bit naff. Far too much discipline and
You want like
about.
round heads or whatever they were called. You want like some revolutionary shit, don't you?
No, earlier than that.
Oh, really? Medieval?
Earlier than that.
Saxon?
Trojan horse.
Don't say there ain't much earlier than that.
Yeah, I'm thinking like Roman Viking.
So you're fighting, you're some little Saxon bastard trying to stop the Vikings coming in.
Oh no, or a Viking. I got a good beard.
Anglo-Saxon, eh? That'd be good. Yeah, you could be a Viking. You come over with King Canute. You can be one of his right-hand men when you take over.
That'd be
nice,
bang
actually.
up for some of that shit. That'd be right laugh. I think it got a bit naff. Certainly soldiering when it was like there was more asked about fucking drill and how clean your fucking tunic was. All that fucking caper. Do you like seeing like Sharp's rifles?
Wolves have equalised.
1-0.
Fuck's sake. Who was it? Semedo? Yeah, Semedo scored. I mean, can we stop conceding goals from fucking fullbacks, please? There's been about 3 in the last 4 games. Newcastle fullback. Who was it the other day the fullback scored against us? Fulham. And now Wolves fullback has scored against us. That suggests to me that we don't defend on the wings very well. If their fullbacks can push up and consistently get goals against us, it's like they're outnumbering us or something.
Fucking Boo Earns.
Yeah. This is a good pass here. Neto. And
who's tracking the runner there?
I don't know.
I mean, no one is the answer, but
Matic falls over.
falling over is not ideal.
No.
Teller's running inside of him, but he still gets
Tellers.
hold of the ball.
Nah, it's Tellers. He don't track his man properly at all. Because like you said, he's the right side of him to start with, and then he lets him get near side.
Oh, fuck off with a jest as that. Shouldn't be allowed in.
Someone says, "Oh crumbs." Spurs are level as well against Leicester.
Bring on the fish.
It's all going pear-shaped now, isn't it?
How much of a sort of 90s game show thing to say does that sound? Bring on the fish. And then a bloke has to kill a live tuna with his bare hands underwater.
I still watch Bullseye, mate.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I've been watching it recently.
On Challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Their mates' haircuts.
Special prize. We should have a bit of balls iced tea. We might just, we could do it like that.
Did you enjoy the fixture list that we did this week where we went racing? Joe won.
Yeah, I did. I won at go-karting. For anyone that's seen it, it's on Steve's channel. I ain't
It's
even
a fucking belting crash in the middle of it.
I ain't even got a driver's license. And I beat it.
I enjoyed the intro. It was brilliant, that by Steve. Brilliant.
Intro was good.
Janine was a bit surprised because she didn't realise how many people knew the Cars intro.
Yeah.
She was like, I wouldn't have been able to tell you what that was. I thought, because I was recording the voice for it, sitting at home watching telly, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Shut up."
Brilliant.
Doing some work
Brilliant.
stuff and that.
I love Cars, the film. Brilliant.
This is probably worth mentioning, actually, because I don't honestly know the answer to this. Marne, I'm probably getting that wrong. So what's going on next year? If United and City win the finals, how many teams are off to Europe with the new third league and all the new systems? What the actual fuck is going on? Who's going where? Do you know?
No.
How many people go in the Europa League conference?
Basically, there's only a set allocation for how many teams from your country can go into European competition. And if someone wins like the Champions League but doesn't qualify for it through the league, like things get adjusted. But you've only got like, let's say it's 7 qualify.
Right.
When it's like 4 for the Champions League, 2 for Europa,
And one
for the conference.
I think that's what we have currently, isn't it?
Yeah, and if it's like, if we end up with 5 in the Champions League somehow, we lose one of the other spots.
Because if Chelsea finish outside the top 4 and win the Champions League, they will make a Champions League place and we'll have 5 in the Champions League.
Is Chelsea missing out on it as it stands, apparently?
Is it?
As it stands. Did they? All right, okay. Tottenham have just equalised. I wasn't aware of that.
They've just got caned.
So it's Leicester missing out on it, yes.
Yeah, but that's what we all knew was going to happen, didn't we?
Oh, no.
Are Liverpool winning, or are they still
Fuck the
drawing?
Scousers in everything. Jesus.
Liverpool are winning.
Yeah, Liverpool are winning. Yeah, it's 1-1, literally just now for Harry Kane. Dick.
Ryan Weston says they've done that.
Go on, Danny. Is it Danny? Oh, good. No, it's not Danny.
Liverpool are up to 3rd, actually.
Brandon Williams, I think.
How the fuck has that happened?
Because Chelsea aren't winning.
Shit, knobheads, get a grip.
Ryan Weston says they've done that pass between Tellez and Axel so many times now. Is it Tellez or Axel to blame? Probably both of them. I would have thought if there's one pass cutting through 2 players over and over again.
Brandon got a nosebleed then.
It's a good pass, that.
Yeah.
Good run as well. It's a lovely pass, actually. Who is it? Just hits it straight at the goalie, really, doesn't he? He needs to lift it either more.
I'll put it across a bit.
Put it across or try and go through his legs. But obviously he's a right back, not a Mason Greenwood.
This Europa Conference is like it's just like a third-rate competition.
Yeah.
It's
It's a chance for some teams that would never get a chance to play in Europe to play in Europe.
Like Arsenal.
Yeah, like Arsenal. That's a great point, Andy. As it stands, Liverpool are 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Leicester 5th, and West Ham 6th, making up that European Europa League spot, and then Tottenham.
How have they snuck into bloody 3rd?
Liverpool?
Yeah.
They've won like 7 of the last 8 games, haven't they?
Fucking losers.
I know. Pathetic, really, isn't it?
It
goes to show this whole
Klopp
season
said
they were
this
just
week.
messing about, weren't they?
Yeah, Klopp said this week, the
'Cause Van Dijk's still
semi-final
injured.
against Burnley and a
There's
final.
been a goal for Aston Villa. Chelsea lose it 1-0.
You joking?
Nope. Ooh. That means Chelsea are 5th. Leicester are fucking, I don't know.
4th.
Someone at Sky has jizzed their pants. Oh no, Chelsea's goal difference is good, so Leicester still need the victory.
What a pass from Van der Beek, by the way. Can't wait till that gets clipped up on Twitter later saying he's playing fucking 4D chess. Van der Beek had a shot from 30 yards out.
If Leicester pull this back, they go ahead of both
Liverpool.
ahead of Chelsea and Liverpool, meaning Chelsea end up 5th. Wild.
Leicester won't go ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool are winning.
Yeah, but if they get a better result, they go ahead of them, don't they?
No, not if it's a win. They need 4 better
They was
goals.
ahead of them at the start of the day, so how does that not work? They're losing now, aren't they?
Leicester needs to win, don't they?
Yeah, Leicester are drawing. Leicester weren't ahead of Liverpool at the start of the day.
Were they?
No, Liverpool are ahead on goal difference.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, so they need a better result fully, not just a better goal difference
Safe
within
to
that
say
result.
we're all Chelsea fans next
Unless
week.
Leicester win, that's what I said, Leicester have to win by 4 goals.
Yeah, well, they're not doing that, are they?
No, exactly. Philip Glover says, bring on the fish. Sounds like an Alan Partridge show. Alan Partridge, or maybe sort of a Vic and Bob type, but dove from above. Donald Cox, the sweaty fox type replacement. I could see that. Bring on the fish.
Bring on the fish.
Are you Oh, that's a good bit of play there. Dan James and Diallo. Keep the ball.
Oh, it's a good ball, though.
It's a really good ball.
Put it into him, but there's no one in the box. He just got fouled. Alanga's arriving late.
And we've got no strikers either.
It wasn't Alanga. It was Juan Mata.
Yeah.
Where the fuck's Alanga?
He's arriving really late.
He's not even arriving. Has he gone home?
Is anybody
Does he just fucking scored and fucked off? Good pass there from Donny van der Beek. Are we not having a foul? We're not having a foul.
Where is Alanga? He's there on the right, look. Just stay back.
This is good. Keep it going.
We were just saying something then that was quite good. Oh, I forgot now. Matic. Look at that. Oh, he's done brilliantly there.
Nice,
Matic.
go on, Donny. Shoot, you
Penalty!
fucker.
Penalty!
Penalty, ref. Point to the spot, you fucking dick.
He's giving it.
Look at him. Oh, fuck off, Mike Dean, you absolute knicker-sniffing bellend.
He should have shot, though. Oh, no.
Oh, he stood on his fucking ankle as he's gone past him.
VAR! VAR! Come on! He's nailed him! You got to fucking overturn that. Honestly, Mike Dean, what are you looking at, you fuck? Jesus. Could have killed him.
He's stretched out for the ball, he's not got it, and he stood on his ankle.
Hey, is VAR getting
Yeah,
involved there?
of course it is.
He's looking. I'm looking.
Look at him.
I'm
Oh,
looking.
God, he's a fucking
He obviously didn't see it, did he?
absolute
Because it was weird, it just came late, but he stamps on it. Well, he doesn't stamp on it. He stretches out to win the ball, doesn't get it, and stands on his ankle. That's a foul. That's a foul. No one can hear you, Cam, and you're talking shy.
Concentrate on your own problems.
It's a foul, that. Regardless of whether he continues to run, it's still a foul. He stretches out to get the ball, doesn't get it, and stands on his ankle. That's a foul. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's a bullshit that from Mike Dean because he saw the contacts and just left it and let VAR decision. You fucking coward.
Who takes this if we get it?
Absolute fucking coward. Yeah, let Matt take it.
He's a big.
I think
Matt probably let Alanga take it and go on, lad. Fuck it.
Get a trick, lad.
What do you mean? Come on, just give it. We know what you're all fucking about. It's literally on the spot. Beat that.
Come on, Pen. Come on.
Yeah, just take a free kick from where that was.
Oh, fuck off, Dean.
He's going to check it.
What are you going checking it for?
I hope Tranmere gets screwed by Markham.
That's nice. When's that?
I think it's tonight, actually.
Is it?
And they're losing 2-1.
Congratulations to Warrington Rylands on winning the FA Vars yesterday. Go on, the lads.
What's the FA Vars?
It's like step 8, 9 and 10. Or level 8, 9 and 10. Step, what was that? 4, 5 and 6.
Someone's definitely done a shit in the Warrington Vars, hasn't they? Or the
FA
FA Vars.
yeah, I think so. It's a nice cup though. It's like it's one of them that I think it's about as old as the FA Cup, so it's like a proper silver fella.
Is it?
Big
It's a
one.
vase, it's not glass.
No, it's a cup. It's just called the Vars, isn't it? So you got the FA Trophy and the FA Vars, which is your non-league FA Cups, really, because they're not winning the FA Cup, are they?
So is that like a league cup?
No, so
a
the
non-league cup.
the FA Trophy is Conference North, and then like step 3 and 4.
Here we go, Mike Dean. VAR penalty.
Penalty, thank you.
Who's taking this?
The Vars
Matter.
is like the bottom bottom 2, which is still thousands of fucking teams.
Can you? Will we Paddock be able to go into that in the
couple of
future?
years if we end up in step 6.
Yeah. Nice one.
Taps nose.
Wow.
Oh, and by the way, if you're looking at my eye, yeah, I have got some sort of eye infection.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's only highly contagious, so these two both have one later.
Yeah. He went paintballing at a kid's birthday party and they all pinned him down and said, shoot him in the eyes, shoot the fatty in the eyes. And that's their words, not mine.
You think the guy with the experience won't lose, would you?
You would think not. But apparently, 38 kids, a class of under sixes, weren't they? With live ammunition.
It is one matter, by the way.
It is one matter. That didn't happen. I apologise for saying that today. I'm sorry. Come on.
I want to bring my bow and arrow in, you'll find out.
Don't shoot with a bow and arrow for saying that.
Come on, Juan. Let's
Go
have
on.
an action in a United shirt. And he scored it!
Sent him the wrong way as well. Lovely. One matter. Probably
That's to his
last
mum.
goal
That's
for Man United.
for his mum.
Yeah. Kissing his hand and looking to the sky there.
Yeah. Nice.
Lovely penalty.
Come on, Leicester, you fucking arseholes. Jesus!
Come on, Crystal Palace.
And Crystal Palace, yeah. Come on, Bull. You can fucking do it.
It's nice that he's got that in it. It's good
Yeah,
that he's
it's
got
nice.
that goal. And it was a penalty as well. It was a bit of a weird one because it wasn't like a dead obvious terrible foul, but you can't miss the ball and stand on someone's ankle, can you? That's just
Those are the
2021.
rules. Those are the rules, Joe.
Yeah.
Matt
These days.
Dean couldn't give it. Then
Yeah.
he had to go. I'll best check it.
15 years ago, that ain't a penalty because it's like, well,
No,
he
no,
didn't,
of
he
course
didn't
not.
do enough to knock him over. But nowadays, we all know that's a penalty. Yeah, brilliant for one matter that. And 2-1. United haven't looked particularly aggressive going forward, but basically
Played okay.
we've played all right. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Not been bad. Mike Dean.
Probably got Tranmere on his mind.
Didn't refs used to have to be like under 40 or under 50? How old's Mike Dean?
50s.
He looks like a fossil. Do you know he's got that like...
Late
he looks
40s.
like it looks like an animal that doesn't exist anymore. Do you know this sort of like the Dean bird, a featherless bird that died out 150 million years ago? We found, completely round and shiny as you like and vindictive. But apparently there is no age limit on refs anymore. He's 52. God bless him.
He's only 6 months older than Jay.
That's mad, that, isn't it? That is mad, actually.
He's older than me.
I know. Incredible.
And I'm old.
Morecambe beat Tranmere on aggregate, by the way, lads. So that's why he's in a bad mood.
Because Tranmere got beat. Diddums, Mike Dean.
Although I did quite like it when you saw him celebrating in the crowd with the Tranmere fans. As a Tranmere fan. It made him look a bit more human, didn't it? Come on, Palace, you can do it. Yeah, that's what we need now. We need Crystal Palace to beat Liverpool.
We need a Benteke. We need a Zaha. End of story. Good night.
End of story. Good night. To take you in just a moment, they're just getting set up, but they'll take you around the grounds for the halftime update. Obviously, it's the last game of the season. A lot of results are pinned and deciding. Essentially, the top 4 fight is the thing that we're waiting for, isn't it? There's a little bit of Europa Conference, Europa Nations League, or whatever it's called, still to fight for as well. So Alex and Ronaldo will take us through all of that very shortly. Are we good to go over? I believe we are. So, yeah. First of all, what did you make of that, lads? And secondly, explain what the hell is going on with these European spots.
2-1 to Manchester United. Let's go around the ground and have a look at what everything is happening.
Around the grounds.
Round the grounds. We'll start with Liverpool taking the lead against Crystal Palace, meaning that they are in pole position, essentially. There's someone celebrating behind camera about Liverpool winning. I'm not a fan of that in the slightest there. But Liverpool winning, Liverpool looking like they're in the pole position for top 4. You've then got Leicester City versus Tottenham, which at this moment in time is 1-1. Chelsea are getting beat 1-0 by Aston Villa.
And I'm sure Cam's really, really happy about that.
Cam's happy about that in absolute panic station. But that means at the minute, Liverpool in 3rd spot on 69 points, Chelsea in 4th spot on 67 points, and Leicester City on 67 points as well. Chelsea's goal difference a little bit better. So,
should have beat Liverpool, man.
It's all going to come down to that second half. If Leicester City can get a goal, if Chelsea can get a goal or do anything, or maybe Crystal Palace can do everyone a favour and mean that not Liverpool out of it. But I really don't see that happening. But it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half, because look at Leicester, obviously with the tougher game playing Spurs, but Spurs are Spurs and have been a bit poo. So
exactly, there's 2 teams, I was saying this upstairs, there's 2 teams that you can never really have any faith in, and that is Tottenham and Everton.
Everton. Useless.
Can't believe in either team.
Everton missing penalties.
They both let you down.
City are 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Ederson has saved a penalty for them. We've also got a few other results. Arsenal drawing 0-0 with Brighton. They've got the chance to go above Tottenham, which I think could be... Even you hate Arsenal. It's your most hated team, isn't it? You hate them more than anything.
I hate Arsenal more than anything in the world.
They've got the chance to go above Tottenham, and even you said that'd be funny, wouldn't it?
That'd be funny. Now, even though I hate Arsenal, I think that'd be funny if Arsenal had such a shit season and Tottenham still finished below them, because that'd just be the most Tottenham thing to do.
It would be. So it's going to be an interesting second half for the other ones. BT Sport was funny at the start of the game when Jake Humphries went on and said, there's a lot of games today that mean nothing, but we're here with Wolves and Manchester United, which is a big game today. And you kind of went, what?
I'm not sure about the performance on that.
No,
punditry-wise, but
and also BT Sport forgetting that Brandon Williams had scored against Sheffield United. And
mistake after mistake today.
And him also, Pete Walton coming on, and again being spot on with the penalty decision, saying there's no way that's penalty.
Do you know what it is, from top to bottom? Players, managers, maybe even obviously people that are in the punditry in the studio. I think they're in holiday mode.
Everyone's got to be mode. In Euros mode. Everything. Got a week left of the season.
Should we actually talk about the game now?
Let's have a look at the game. Let's have a look at some of your comments at half time. Have they read out Abdullah's super chat, Cameron? Thank you for that. I don't know. But anyway, let's go through. Did the commentators call Van der Beek Wan-Bissaka? Potentially. Didn't hear that. Jermaine Jean is useless. That's a lot of the comments, which is good. Jean is saying that's not enough contact. What a melt. It was. I mean, that was a penalty. Stonewall penalty for me.
Do you know what? It's a penalty because that would be a foul outside the box.
It would be. He made an action to kick him, and he kicked it.
It's a little high as well. Definitely a foul. Just thought about Bruno being at home, seeing that going.
Hating it.
Putting on a brave face.
Knowing that, I think if he'd have been in with a chance, if he'd been 1 or 2 goals off Salah and Kane, he'd have played today. He's one of them
You
players.
think so?
Yeah,
I thought
I
thought he's been eyeing up the 30 goal mark as well for the season in general. I think he's on 28, 29.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong.
Maybe not. So he's
got
not,
one more game to get that anyway.
What did we think of everyone's performances in the first half? Because for as much as it's
That
been
man
all
there.
over the place, Donny van der Beek.
Been good today, innit? He's been sharp.
Has
He's
been
been
good.
dynamic.
He's
He's looked like a different player.
He
That's
has.
the type of player that we're gonna get next season in the second season.
Do you think as
We're
well?
for good.
Do you think that there's a chance that maybe Solskjaer, maybe us looking at it, need to look at Donny van der Beek as maybe a slightly different? But I think we're all expecting another kind of Bruno, or maybe someone that links up, or like a Juan Mata player that's going to be bit of a taller Juan Mata that plays a little bit further forward. But do you think it's the similar thing to Paul Pogba, where you kind of, if he's playing that deep position, all he's going to do is keep things ticking, keep things moving, a few sharp touches here and there. If he gets maybe his defensive work rate a little bit better, if he fits that position a bit more, maybe that's how Van der Beek fits in the team. He's not going to look as impressive as he has done in the past for Ajax. He may not be the player that we all think he's going to be, which is someone that's going to score loads of goals and stuff. But he might just be a tidy player that sits in midfield there, does the right things, keeps the ball moving. And because that's what he's done today. He's been very good at just doing the right things, a few sharp touches, a few sharp turns, linking up play, obviously winning the penalty. What do you make of Donny van der Beek? Where do you think he fits?
Literally, the way I looked at it is we've already established that the McFred kind of dynamic and them two as a pivot. They're very much one and the same in terms of they're both more passion and energy over actual quality. Sometimes between the two of them, there's a distinct lack in like creativity. You don't really see many third-man runs from him. And when they do get in them areas, McTominay obviously he's had a few goals this season. He's been slightly improved. Obviously, we know Fred usually can't, can rarely ever hit the target. But with Van der Beek, he offers something completely different from them two. He's got, as you've seen today, he's got a little bit more of an eye for a pass. He's definitely better on the ball than Fred is. And he's as I said, he's a little bit more creative and he's got something, like a little bit more of an idea when he gets the ball and a better picture. And I think that's what we've been missing. We need a bit more of a balance in midfield rather than two players that are just more similar and there's not much in there between the two of them.
And maybe the idea all along this season was that you could have played Donny in there alongside Matic, and maybe Matic has been the one that's deteriorated a little bit more, and you've kind of gone, do you know what? We can't play that midfield. We can't do what we wanted to do and play Donny in alongside him because Matic has not looked on the pace. He's looked a bit better today, Manny Matic, but still at the same time, a couple of times he's been turning you like, wow, he's
he's on his last legs a little bit, but in terms of how they've played and how they've performed, I think it's been a really, really front foot, energetic performance from United. I've been pleasantly surprised. I think the front three of Dan James, Alanga and Ahmad has been very, very good. I think there's been a bit of spark between the three of them. It's looked very fluid, obviously, because there's not really a out-and-out number 9 there. And I've been really impressed, and I think they've been exciting to watch. I think Alanga's really, really, really quick. He's got the legs on the left back as well.
Got the legs. Let's talk about the goals, the goal scorers. The first goal, by the way, Dan James. Let's just talk about Dan James for a minute. His final ball has always been the big question about Dan James, his decision making and whatever he does. But what a ball that was from Dan James. Perfect.
Pinpoint, left foot as well, swing off.
Pass, cross, unbelievable cross.
Great header as well, great
Elanga,
contact.
I thought
he should have done that on the first one. The first opportunity he got, he could have had a little bit of a diving header, but he made up for it.
And not just that, it's good to see someone in the box other than Cavani attacking the ball. You know, all of our strikers, Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, all don't like heading the ball. It seems like they all kind of shy away.
That's what Cavani's brought in a little bit of difference.
But maybe someone like Elanga can be someone on that other that is wanting to at least attack the ball. You don't have to be good at heading it. You just have to be willing to attack it. He did that for his goal. Fantastic there in terms of Elanga. Then we've obviously had the penalty, Donny van der Beek, the clear penalty. BT Sport, and as soon as Pete Walton said it's not going to be a penalty, we knew it was going to happen.
But I know a lot of the United fans, when they saw Mike Dean running over to the monitor, you thought it was only ever going to go against United.
No, I think it had to be given.
I'm surprised that he gave it, actually.
Juan Mata getting a goal in potentially
his last game.
Potentially his last
game.
I thought so. I don't.
That's probably why he got it.
But good to see Juan Mata scoring.
Yeah,
the nicest man in football.
Gentleman.
Proper
gentleman.
Let's have a look at some of your comments. Let me have a quick look. If Dan James was the backup to Sancho next season, he'd grow a lot. I don't think it doesn't even matter who's ahead of him. He just needs to not be playing as much. I think that's the big thing. Is there's no maybe the less pressure on him kind of coming and doing bits and spurts rather than being a starter or expecting might be better for him. Let's have a look what else you guys are saying. Pressure's on Matt, a proper finish. It was a very good. Alex Telles, He's been all right today as well. Bit of quality from him.
He's
Not defensively. I don't think he likes defending.
Do you know what? I think Tellers has benefited last 15 minutes from Adama Traore coming off because say what you want to say about him. I thought it didn't look like the greatest matchup to begin with.
No,
he looked dangerous, Adama. And I think since he's come off, they've looked pretty toothless. And Tellers was out in for a very long day, but in terms of going forward on the ball, he's picked out a few passes. We know he's got really good delivery. And when it come on the edge of the box there to him, we thought that he had the technique and the quality to probably score that, we thought. Thinking about some of the goals that we was talking upstairs about, some of the goals that's been scored like that, half on the edge of the box, ever against Bayern. And Rafael against QPR, but Tellers just couldn't emulate it.
No, he couldn't. It was very ambitious. But we've also, have you seen a shorter front line playing from United? I don't think I have. It's not a tall front line. Not one that's going to be in the box.
No, it's not at all. Well,
Ahmad, James, and
all right,
Mata.
Got the land of the... No, I'm not going to say that. Land of the small people.
Yeah.
As a front three, but we've had a headed goal so far, so
Madness.
what does that say about him?
Absolutely madness. Score is wrong in the title. That's been said by Jack. Cameron's going to change the title on Watchalong for us. Let's have a quick look what else it is. Herrera with the double pivot with Pogba in 16-17. Van der Beek can do that role. But he still had Matic played a lot of them games as well, didn't he? Matic played in a lot of those games. I don't think you ever saw those two without the other one. What else have we got? Possibly the smallest front three ever. A few J emojis in there. Jay will be here for the review at the end of the game alongside Joe Smith. Let's have a look what else. What else?
Another thing hinging on this game that we've not spoke about is obviously we're away from home again and we're winning.
That record?
And we're trying to hold on to that record.
26.
That's the 26. I think that's the one thing we're worried about, our away form being kind of damaged on the last game of the season. But so far it looks like we could end up getting the win. We could get unbeaten.
A few comments here about Axel as well. Axel being on the left-hand side of this defence alongside Eric Bailly. Who do you think starts in the final Europa League next week? Because I think the rest of the team is it's going to be the opposite. So whoever's not playing today is going to start on Wednesday. But obviously one of those two is going to start alongside Lindelof. Who do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's Bailly or do you think it's Tuanzebe?
That's a good question. Is it going to be Axel or is it going to be Bailly starting alongside Lindelof in the final? Do you know what? I think he'll go for Bailly, just off experience purposes.
I think he's going to. I think he prefers Axel on that left-hand side. I think he thinks that. I think it fits more. I think it allows Lindelof to do what he's been, as an attacking sense, those balls over the top that I think he likes. I think it's going to be Axel Tuanzebe. I think they've looked.
So we split. You think Axel? I think Bailly.
Let us know in the comments whether you
do.
People saying I like the pair of Bailly and Tuanzebe. Maybe that's it. Maybe Lindelof doesn't start.
I was going to say that now, but Lindelof will start. He's definitely going to start.
Someone's saying Phil Jones. Phil Jones, not. That's him. Where Phil Jones is going to be next season, whether they're going to find him another job in the club because he ain't going to be playing football.
Probably Mykonos.
He'll be going. Let's have a look. Elanga's doing well. I absolutely agree. I'm saying thanks for the excellent content. You've helped us get through it. Like I said, no, thanks for watching and kept us busy as well.
All right, so what's the ideal scenario second half in terms of around the grounds? You
around the grounds, Chelsea don't score because I think it'd be funny if they're panicking all the way through. Liverpool get beat and Leicester score.
Turn
that
around.
is perfect scenario. Don't think it's going to happen though. I reckon Chelsea get an equaliser. I think Tottenham, Leicester stays as a draw.
Obviously, we win.
And I think Liverpool probably sneak at least a point. So I think
and
they're getting it.
another ideal, Arsenal get liquidated.
Let's just see what happens to Arsenal. Would it not be funny if they were in the Europa Conference League? Because I think that's worse than. I think it's better to finish seventh. It's worse to finish 7th and 8th this season. The Europa Conference League's got to be the worst thing to watch.
Just the way it sounds. Because you've got the Europa League, which is always like a sub-league and a backup league, so the Champions League, and then you've got an even sub-league below that, the Europa Conference League.
No.
Sounds perfect for Arsenal, to be honest.
It does sound perfect for Arsenal. Someone's saying Arsenal have scored. They have scored. Have they kicked off? United haven't kicked off yet, but some Arsenal are 1-0 up, which means currently they are ahead of Spurs, which, I mean, I don't like Spurs. I'm not bothered by anything, but I think it's funny that Spurs are going to finish 8th. Everton are finishing 10th. Remember, there was a graphic that said Southampton, Tottenham, Everton.
It proves that whatever you do,
title challenges. Not even going to finish
never
in the top half.
ever believe in Tottenham or Everton.
Never believe in Tottenham or Everton. You've heard it here first. West Ham finishing 6th. That's looking likely. Let's have a look. If there's any more goals since the start of it. Newcastle United getting another goal, being 1-0 up against Fulham. Joe Willock going for Vardy's record.
What are you going to say, Joe Linton? And
No,
definitely,
not
you don't
Joe
score
Linton.
goals.
Joe Willock has had 7 games in a row where he scored. He's on the way to Jamie Vardy's record of 11 games. There's a stat for you.
You would have put a bet on that?
Nobody.
Put a pound on.
Not even Joe Willock thought he was going to score in 7 games. Right, second half is about to kick off. I'm going to hand you back over to Andy Tate, Stephen Howson. First is Joe Smith.
Hello, we're back. Andy Tate's here. You've done your top button up. You said you were getting a bit cold. I put the heating on. How are you feeling?
Bit more comfortable, thank
Right,
you.
good. And Steve?
All right.
Feeling good?
No.
You've cracked a Red Bull.
Cracked a Red Bull. Had a right banging shit.
Yeah, you've had a couple of paracetamol.
Yeah, I feel a bit ropey if I'm being honest.
He's had his jab, and he's got all upset about it, hasn't you?
I'm not upset about it. I was all right. I've got this weird thing growing in my eye, and I've got a bit of a chill, it feels.
Has it? Well,
Supposed to be sunshine, it's May, not chilling.
I know. The weather, by the way.
Stupid.
Anyone who lives in England will know this, but for anyone who doesn't, the weather forecast has literally said clouds with rain every single day for 3 weeks in a row. There's been a little bit of glimpses of sun just where the forecast was wrong, but when you look at your Apple weather, it's been fuck all but rain for 3 weeks.
Fucking media put doom and gloom all around, even with the weather.
You think that's the media?
I'll just put that.
Media showers.
Fucking, yeah. Just fucking sick of this weather now.
So yeah, it's been shocking. I mean, it's raining now. For anyone who can't see, Manchester 12 degrees and raining like it is forever. So yeah, it's not been great, has it?
Skin's not made of sugar, Joe.
I'm not quite sure what that means, but it sounds as though it's some sort of pimp tactic where you're trying to get less. You're trying to get less money for me.
It's a good saying.
It means it's not going to fucking dissolve.
Right. Okay. I thought that was you saying that to potential clients of mine, and I would get less money for my body. I tell you what, you can have him, but I tell you now, his skin's not made of sugar. If you know what I mean. 40 quid for the hour. That's what you're trying to do, isn't it?
Stop
You're trying to
comparing
pimp me
yourselves.
Simba's being rude to me. But you don't like the rainy weather, though, Steve. Don't act like you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Skin's not made of sugar, though.
Could be a late summer.
My skin's made of sweetness.
Could be a late summer this
I've
year.
got some fucking good coats.
Have you? That's a good point. I've just got this and another one that's blue.
That's a denim version of that.
Yeah, pretty much it. 29 degrees in South Sudan. Well, Darren, enjoy it. 12 degrees in Perth and it feels freezing. Yeah.
I'd rather be in Perth than here.
Would you?
Oh,
Really?
yeah. Australia.
Yeah, but not Perth though.
Brisbane. I've got friends in Brisbane.
Because if you want to do anything past about 8:30 at night in Perth, you're fucked.
Johnny Rice, with a super chat, says, part of the problem with Van der Beek is he plays too high. Average position is normally higher than Bruno. Poor discipline. Looks so comfortable playing deep, linking play. Do you agree with that, Steve? Not in terms of the, we don't need to get into the average position, but do you think he plays too high? Do you think he'd be better a bit deeper?
Yeah, I think his best performance, like I was saying, came against Southampton when him and Matic sat like a pair of sixes, really.
Do you like Donny van der Beek?
I do, and I want him to succeed. I really do, and I think next season, if he's not getting played next season, then you're gonna go, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Then you got to start pointing fingers at the manager, at the recruitment. Why was he bought?
Yeah, I suppose we don't have much of a. Oh, what's it? That's a good cross.
And you, what lad doesn't want? He's got his own pool table. And it's got Man United emblem on his pool table.
Donny has?
Donny, yeah. So you're telling me that's a guy who doesn't want to leave United?
Would you say that's a bit soon to get that? Is that like the equivalent of getting your missus's initials tattooed on you after 2 months going out with her?
No, not quite.
Okay.
It's not a tattoo, is it? It's a pool table.
All right, then. If you had a pool table, if I got a new girlfriend and I've been going out with her for a couple of months and she don't text me back all the time, and I got a pool table with her face on it, would you say Joe's lost it?
Yeah.
Did
But
Nani
it's still
lose
not the
it?
same, though.
Nani had a nice sculpture in his hallway of himself.
2-1 Leicester.
2-1 Leicester!
Jamie Vardy.
Things have
Having a
changed.
party.
Cam sat there shitting himself because they've just gone above Chelsea. It's not looking good. Cam's eating biscuits and watching Chelsea on an iPhone there.
That's what diabetic.
Blue is the colour, but it's the wrong colour blue, isn't it?
Who scored for Leicester?
Jamie Vardy.
Of course. Goes without saying, doesn't
Come
it?
on, Crystal Palace. Come on.
Yeah, that's what we need now.
Just an equaliser.
Yeah.
Absolute spanner in the
Is it
works.
1-0, the Liverpool match?
Yeah. But they've had a great load of shots.
Yeah, well, they always do.
Langer in again? No.
Palace have?
No, Liverpool have.
All right.
Sounds like they're giving them a bit of a fucking C and 2.
Did you see that stat that came out the other day. I saw Carl Anker either retweeted it or commented on it or both. It was talking about XG, and you like this, Steve, of last season and this season. So the expected goals, I think it's plus or minus your opposition throughout the season. If people understand at home understand what I mean by that. So on any given game, you're likely to have this much more of a goal chance than your opposition do in that game. I think Liverpool's last season was 0.76 or 0.79. So in any given game, they're more likely to score 0.79 of a goal more than their opposition. And this season, their XG was 0.76. Like almost exactly the same. And yet, of course, they've won half the games. Man United's almost exactly the same. City's almost exactly the same. Do you think... And, obviously Liverpool's injuries have played a part, but in terms of what they actually were expected to score in those games, it's roughly the same. Do you think they've just had a bit of bad luck this year, or do you think they had good luck last year, or what? Because by the stats, they should have basically done what they did last year.
I think they mega outperformed it last year, in one sense, I believe. I think that was one of the reasons they were so good last year.
Played on overload for 2 seasons, didn't they?
But they've also conceded some wild ones this year too. So, I guess it balances itself out through that a little bit.
And in fairness to Liverpool, which I can't believe I'm saying, but some of the games we've watched in here, like me and Jay were watching one against, I can't remember what it was. It might have been West Brom when they drew with West Brom or they lost to West Brom, whatever it was. They had 7 or 8 chances from a yard out that were getting blocked off the line and incredible saves. And they ended up dropping points.
Though. There's a problem with averaging out XG.
That's a foul.
It literally relates to the game you're playing in. And this is where I think people use a lot of this data incorrectly. XG is just a bit of a measure of the shots you took in that game. And for me, they're a measure of, should my forward maybe have scored those? Yes or no? Who really was on top during the game? Was it us? Was it them? Was it an even game? If you win 5-1 and you have a look at the XG, you should have lost 3-2. You go, we got away with that one, didn't we? Well, that's probably some great finishing from your strikers scoring low percentage goals, or maybe that was the opposition being very clinical or something along those lines. When you start trying to extrapolate that across the season, all right, yes, there's probably some trends that you can look at in that, but it becomes a lot more woo.
Yeah.
It becomes a lot more magic than reality.
Can I stop you there, Steve? Aston Villa have got a penalty against Chelsea. So
they've scored it.
They've scored it. So Chelsea are losing 2-0 to Aston Villa.
But they're still in the top 4, aren't they?
By a goal. By 1 goal.
1 goal.
1 goal.
1 goal.
So if Leicester... No, currently as it stands...
Oh, no.
Leicester, because they're ahead, will be in the top 4. Chelsea will be out of it. They've got to score 2 at least. At least. In very exciting times here.
Next Saturday or bust then, isn't it?
Next Saturday or bust, it's looking like. Wow. Cam currently scratching his head. Just shout a single word to tell us how you feel, Cam. 1 word. He said not very good, is it? So that's not 1 word.
That's 2.
It's a lot more than that.
City winning 3-0.
City winning 3. Yeah, but who cares about that? Ignore them.
I mean, if we can win this today, we'll finish on 74 points. That's an 8-point improvement from last year.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I know it could be more, should be more, but it is a really good improvement.
It is bollocks that VAR came out as well and was like, oh yeah, that decision was blatantly wrong.
Which one?
Well, the one where they didn't give or they give
Sheffield
some stuff,
United.
and like, oh, so what are we doing about it? Nothing.
Okay. Well, there was two decisions in that game, wasn't there? De Gea got pushed by Billy Sharp, and then Martial's goal. Martial's goal was ruled out before it had crossed the line, so they couldn't check it on VAR, and both of those were judged to have been mistakes. Literally would have made the difference between us losing and winning that game. Abhinav Verma says Liverpool used inhalers last year, allegedly. But those inhalers didn't... Oh, I thought that was going in. Those inhalers didn't finish the ball for them. Sorry. Wolves having shots from the edge of the box there. Can we get a cam? I'd like one. We could maybe swap me out for him in a little bit, just to give us the update on the top 4. But maybe not. Are you upset? How are you feeling? He just raised his eyebrows. He's not feeling great at the moment. If Chelsea win the Champions League after finishing outside the top 4, will Liverpool be knocked out from next year's Champions League? No. As of, I'm not sure, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe a bit even longer now, if you finish outside the top 4 but win the Champions League, England can now have 5 teams in the Champions League group stages.
When we won Europa League.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it.
So if you win the Champions League or the Europa League, you don't knock out the team in fourth anymore.
Even Arsenal winning.
But here's something. If you win the Champions League from outside the top 4 and the Europa League from the same country outside the top 4, we can't have 6 teams in it. So I guess
fourth place would
then get knocked out. But in this instance, that isn't possible.
All them UEFA...
Actually, no, it's not. Sorry, I've shot myself.
All them Europa.
Are you all right?
Is it 5th, 6th, and 7th as it is at the moment?
No,
or
it's
would it
5th
drop
and
to
6th.
8th? But if Chelsea finish 5th,
and the FA Cup.
Yeah, that's
no. I think we would lose a Europa Conference place.
the two final places that were there now.
Don't worry about it, Andy. It's
complicated.
Did
they go to the league? Did they go to the league positions? Because City went in the League Cup and Chelsea in the FA.
No, it's complex and it's fucking fluid.
It's stupid.
It changes depending on where everyone comes.
Like Avril Lavigne, complicated.
There was a whole video about it. I think that like Tifo did or something like that with graphs.
Yeah, watch that after you've watched this. 250 million to
2 penalties
5th.
apparently was for Vardy.
Was it? What's the score?
2-1.
Tottenham have to get their guns on, otherwise they're not going in Europe next season.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting finish, isn't it, this? Huge goal for Leicester
It's mad,
City.
isn't it? How like relegation's been dealt with. The champions have been dealt with. And it's still somehow got a lot to play for in the final game of the season.
Well, they're playing for money as well, aren't they? If you position-wise, you might you get $500,000 extra for your club.
Probably more than that.
Yeah.
Probably a few, like maybe a 10 million more over the course of the season.
So
maybe
Tottenham
even more than
can't finish 6th, and they're going to finish 8th. They're losing out on both fronts.
Yeah. Henderson just got booked for time wasting for a goal kick. That's a lovely touch by Donny van de Beek there. That's a poor one from Diallo.
Been had a quiet game, hasn't he?
Oh.
Diallo.
Yeah, he's not done a lot, has he, at the minute? Pepe has scored a brace for Arsenal. They're winning 2-0 against Brighton. But yeah, Diallo, he's had a few touches, but he's not really done a whole hell of a lot, has he? But I thought he was good the other day. Yeah, good defender. Every time a cross comes in, you think we're going to concede, don't you? Go on, Brandon, find someone.
The way some of the ex-United players have gone to Italy and looked sensational.
Yeah.
One man's got 6 years left in him there.
Do you think? Who's he going to go to? Roma?
I don't know. I never heard if he got on with Jose or not.
Oh!
What a ball!
Dan
Finish it, James!
What the?
Honestly.
Cam can find a way to laugh at that despite his team.
That's fucking terrible.
Fucking 2-0 down against Aston Villa.
The weight on this ball of Malanga is honestly porn.
It's
He's
Diallo,
well
I think.
onside. Is it Diallo?
I think so.
And then Dan James just misses.
I'm not joking. Not far off
It is
what
Diallo,
I'd
sorry.
do there. That's roughly what I'd do. Take a touch and then...
He's hit it with his ankle.
That's a really, really poor shot from Dan James.
Honest to God, man.
Boo.
Oh, dear.
Dusko saying, get him off.
Someone's just texted me saying, Sid James.
Yeah. Harsh.
You can't defend
Harsh
that.
but fair.
You can't defend that.
No, it's a shit finish, that. And after that cross he did in the first half, now you think, was it a fluke?
Fucking hell.
Or was it a shot?
Yeah, maybe it was.
Diallo, that was a hell of a ball out
Yeah,
from
he's
Diallo.
got a lovely way to pass.
That could be the game, that could have been 3-1 in control.
It's quite rare that you see someone his age who is very much a sort of assist and pass and vision first type attacker, isn't it?
Well, that's one of the things that's so good about Greenwood. He's not really shown a lot of that this season, but his playmaking's really a good part of his game.
Yeah.
He's going to be such a good number 9. Did you see Fergie talking about him?
No.
With Gene Evans, a Lad Bible video. And he was talking about Mason Greenwood. Just like, he went through all the different attributes he's got, and you're like, oh, yeah, he's dead good.
Do it again. Oh,
that's nice, isn't
and
it?
Honestly, I was sitting there going, I'd have loved to have seen Greenwood under Fergie. Fucking
imagine.
hell.
Imagine him with like a 30-year-old Rooney and then maybe a Nanny as well.
And a Van Persie.
Yeah, just with Wayne Rooney providing passes and through balls for Mason Greenwood would just be sensational, wouldn't it? You could just imagine that.
I mean, what would he... In the future, what's he worth now? But what would he could be? He could be over £100 million player.
I think he would be already.
Yeah,
look at how much
to be
fucking
sold
João
to get a value against him.
Yeah, but
Let's
look
hope
at
he says nothing.
Look at what João Felix was sold for, 115 million euros. He's done less in his career than Mason Greenwood had. Same for Dembele.
Oh, sloppy play, United.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Oh God.
If you do that
Well
now,
done.
in your Dan James, do you hold the back of your hamstring, go down and be like, yeah, we went, boss. That's
I'd say, yeah, mate, you'd have to do something, wouldn't you? Bit of a twinge there. Bit of a twinge on that one. Wasn't my fault.
Mark D, all caps, says, lads, seriously, aliens.
Chelsea scored.
Trust me, I know.
Cameron is bouncing around. Oh,
Chelsea
offside.
scored, but it was offside.
Ah.
And I'll be honest, that sentence sums up Chelsea this season. Was it Werner? Werner was offside again.
Lol.
Have you ever seen a player be offside as much as Timo Werner?
Yeah, because I saw Filippo Inzaghi.
Fair enough. But Filippo Inzaghi didn't have the pace that Werner did.
Stop it.
He didn't.
Stop it.
Not in his later years, he didn't. Oh, he's always offside, isn't he? Why is he always offside? Such a bizarre thing.
It's such a promising
Wait.
end of the season.
Spurs are ahead of Arsenal in the table. Is that real?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Everyone's at Arsenal.
What is going on?
I got Arsenal on 58 points and finish on the season on 61.
No, you mean
8.
Yeah, I think Arsenal are ahead of them now, aren't they?
Yeah, at the moment, because at Tottenham are on 59.
Yeah, at the moment, Arsenal are ahead of Spurs.
That's fucking bananas.
I know.
Everton down in 10th.
Yeah, the shit.
Mate.
They had 4 good games at the start of the season. Everyone was going, do you remember at the start of the season?
A dark
And
horse,
if
then.
anyone watching at home has said this, really think about your predictions for next season. After 4 games, people are going, I think they've got a chance at winning this, you know.
Do you want to know what my Premier League
People
predictions
used to
were?
say that. What?
City first, United second, Liverpool third.
So far, so good, eh?
The
We'll be
comments
doing
in
it.
that comment section did not age well.
We'll be doing a reaction to that next week. Adam and Steve looking over their predictions for this season and seeing how they stacked up.
Not fucking bad.
Not too well. You got the top 3.
My relegation, pretty fucking bad.
Was it? I bet you didn't say Sheffield United.
No, I didn't. Definitely not after. I mean, I had them
What a
rock
pass
bottom
that is.
last year.
Yeah. And then they finished 10th, but really they were 5th.
Yeah, and then I think I had them about 10th this year, and no. So yeah, my relegation ones were way off.
Right, question. Do I wear my Cup Winners' Cup shirt Wednesday?
That is a good question.
It's a good shirt. You know I know it's a good shirt.
Yeah, I think I may have to bring it out.
I usually crack out a 68 one for it.
Yeah, for the European final.
Which one? The blue one?
Yeah, usually, yeah. It's usually my move. Oh, no, I actually, there's I forgot who they are. Kit and Bone have done a graphic which is United with the Europa background. I bought a t-shirt for that. So if that gets delivered in time, I'll be wearing that.
Oh, yeah.
There's not many nice kits. I've seen the Ajax away one. Homage to Bob Marley. That's really nice.
What, for next season?
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't seen that. Leicester, yeah. I think they're 2-1.
We'll be careful
2-1
what we
still.
say, Joe, if you're catching what I'm
Oh,
throwing.
what's that? What was that for the free
Yeah.
kick, man?
But I enjoyed watching the Fergie documentary. Should we say that? Do you remember my text?
Yes.
I've not
It
seen
sounded
it.
like you enjoyed
Not
it.
seen it yet.
Oh, yeah, although maybe not enjoyed every minute of it.
I enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yeah, it was good. It was
Georgie
very-
best
it's
birthday
very
yesterday,
good.
wasn't
I
it?
still not seen it. I'm going to go and watch it at the cinema with my
One
dad,
of
I
the
think.
shots is made me feel strange though,
Why?
because it's like there on Fergie at the side of him, and you're like,
That's a lot.
It's a bit much that.
It's aggressive.
Yeah. And do you know what? At first, I was like, oh, this is going to be shite. If you've read Fergie's autobiography, the first 5 minutes is literally him just repeating that. You're like, I've read this book. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Then it changes direction. You go, oh. And then it gets very, 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 very good. And I might have started crying when it got to the Jim Leighton part.
That's exciting, isn't it? It's funny that.
For other reasons, should we say.
Well, you stubbed your toe.
That was a big decision in 1990. You had to feel for Jim Leighton that day. Yeah. Unless Sealy, absolutely fantastic.
I can't wait to watch that.
It's how ill Jim Leighton looks after it. Like, after he's been dropped and binned, you're like, he looks very ill from this. Like, he's not took this well.
I mean, where did he go? Did he left United? He went back to Aberdeen for a bit, didn't he?
Something like that,
Yeah.
Sly Alessar says Mike Dean is Jasper Carrot. Thoughts?
Got a point.
It's a decent shout, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
Decent shout. For anyone who don't know who Jasper Carrot is, just Google Jasper Carrot. But they kind of, I'll get a picture of him up actually. Jasper Carrot.
He's a Birmingham City fan, Jasper Carrot.
He could definitely. He's an actor and a presenter and comedian. He could definitely play Mike Dean in a documentary about Mike Dean.
that Mike Dean's written.
Yeah.
I mean, that's him now. He used to be on telly, though, didn't he?
The detectives.
Not dissimilar to Mike Dean, is it? By any means.
No.
There we go. Yeah. We'll get Jasper Carrot in. There you go, when he's looking cool. You could see him with a yellow card or two there. Don't mind that. Wolves on the ball. I'm just excited for fucking... Oh.
Come on, Crystal Palace, please.
Here's a question, Steve.
How fucked are we getting Wednesday night?
No.
Oh.
We'll talk about that maybe more this week. Would you rather...
Oh, wank off a horse and everyone know, or not wank off a horse but everyone thought I had?
Well, wank off a horse, because otherwise you don't get to wank off a horse, do you?
Jesus Christ.
No. Would you rather... Leicester get the top 4 now with Liverpool, because I think Liverpool's safe. So it's Man United, City, Leicester, Liverpool. Chelsea miss out. Would you rather that, but then Chelsea win the Champions League and then there's 5 English teams in it? And, or would you rather Chelsea just got it now, so that way there's only 4 English teams in it and Leicester miss out entirely?
I don't really give a fuck who else is in there with us. My preference is as follows. I don't want City to win the Champions League.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I will be fucking blue as the colour at weekend.
But not that blue.
But a darker shade.
A darker blue.
I think we all will.
Yeah, I just realised as I was saying that doesn't really make a lot of sense unless you know the reference is a Chelsea song, right? And I wouldn't have wanted Liverpool to qualify for the Champions League because I fucking hate Liverpool.
Yeah.
And everything they stand for. Yeah. And everything they talk about, how they say it, and the way that they wank themselves into oblivion about themselves, right? So that's my fucking preferences.
I mean, next week, we're all Chelsea. We're going one step beyond. Like they say. just for 90 minutes.
So you don't really care if there's 5 English teams or 4?
Couldn't give a fuck.
Okay. What about you, Andy? Would you rather Leicester get in there and Chelsea, or would you rather just Chelsea and Leicester didn't?
Leicester and Chelsea.
Would you?
Yeah.
Also, I think we've got a better chance of beating Leicester over 2 legs than... Actually, I don't know, because Leicester are probably better than most Italian teams.
Leicester beating us, that's the... It didn't really matter, really, did it?
Interesting.
Ollie Ashton says, how much of it is based around his illness? Talking about the Fergie doc. There's quite a bit on it, isn't there? He sort of goes into... They told him he basically had like an 80% mortality rate chance. So only 20% of you are likely to come out of this. So,
what was he? Yeah, but that's bad, isn't it?
That's
rough.
When the news broke, it was like, oh man, I was down on my knees, man.
It's got the doctor talking about how it's literally got the doctor talking about when they had his brain open, looking at his, looking at the blood clot, and he's like, sometimes you make them worse, sometimes it bleeds out. And he goes, so we just put a little bit of pressure on it. And it did what we hoped it would, which is like stop bleeding. And you're like, honestly, is that as scientific as it was?
We just pressed it and hoped it didn't kill the greatest football manager of all time.
Ferguson's fucking brain.
Jesus,
it's a very good watch.
Yeah, I'm saving it for watching it at the cinema with my dad, so that's the plan. But yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, but you feel with Fergie, he's like your great granddad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Even though we're not related to him, but he feels like your great granddad.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of people, he's been in people's lives more than their real dads and real granddads.
Yeah, he's your granddad.
Yeah, definitely. For a longer period as well.
You can't explain it. It's just an emotional bond.
Has the sound gone for anyone else? I don't think so. It shouldn't have. Wolves with a bit of pressure.
Govan boy. From Govan.
So current scores, Arsenal 2, Brighton 0, Villa 2, Chelsea 0.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
0, Newcastle 1, West Brom 0, Leeds 2, Leicester City 2, Tottenham 1. That's a crucial one alongside the Villa, Chelsea 1. Liverpool 1, Palace 0. So very tight there. A goal for Palace would throw everyone's finger up their arse. Manchester City 3, Everton 0. That one's wrapped up. Not that it matters anyway. And Sheffield United are currently beating Burnley 1-0. West Ham 2, Southampton 0 as well.
We lost that this season. That still pissed me off.
Which one?
Sheffield United.
Yeah, that was a bad one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So again, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware, but for those who don't, the current top 4. Let's do the top 10.
2-1.
Chelsea have just scored, so it's 2-1 there. The current top 4, obviously City first, United second, level. Liverpool third, Leicester 4th, and Chelsea 5th. But as it stands, Chelsea and Leicester's goal difference are level, which would mean... But obviously, Chelsea are also losing. So if they do get ahead, their goal difference, by definition, won't be level with Leicester's
equalise and Chelsea equalise, Chelsea go through. I think that'll be right.
Yes, because they'll have better goal difference.
City winning 4-0.
Yeah, but it don't matter about that, does it? Does it? Nah, it don't matter about that. Chilwell, I think, was a goal for Chelsea. Is that right?
How long left? 20 minutes. Game on.
Yeah, they'll get another goal. But if they get another goal,
they could win it.
They'll go ahead of Leicester. Nerve-wracking stuff. Basically, we need Liverpool to concede.
Is Palace doing any? Do they doing anything at all, or are they just sitting back and taking a hammer?
Anyone who's watching the Liverpool Palace game, can you let us know how it's going? Give us a little.
Are Palace actually putting up a fight, or are they just not bothering?
It's their last game for their manager as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Roy Hodgson. He's done a lot, hasn't he? So yeah, fair play to him.
To still be managing at 214 years of age is impressive, if anything else.
Yeah, I mean, just to keep WD-40 in the hinges on his crypt every morning is quite impressive.
Whoa, defend.
But yeah, decent manager, Roy Hodgson, isn't he?
I mean, what he did at Inter Milan and with Switzerland and stuff like that, it's like, but he's probably not really fully appreciated, really.
I mean, he's won trophies as well, and he's won the UEFA Cup with Inter Milan as well. So yeah,
good manager.
He coached Ronaldo as well. I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he would have been there for
Ronaldo.
I think
97. They won the UEFA Cup.
Oh. But Wolves have had a lot of pressure second half, haven't they? United sitting back a little bit now, trying to hold on to the win.
This isn't a Gaza shirt; it's a Socrates Brazil shirt.
I wonder if we'll.
By the way,
no shit. I wonder if we'll make any subs. We don't really have any, do we? Hannibal Maidbury's the obvious one, in terms of still resting a player for the Europa League final. But we ain't got many.
The summer's going to be interesting, really interesting for United.
Liverpool apparently are sitting back, and Palace have been having a couple of chances.
Imagine that.
I might celebrate that.
Come on, you can't celebrate. You can't. It's got to be an equaliser. 85th minute, cop end, have it.
Mark Hatton's saying the guy took Fulham to the Europa League final. He did do that, which is obviously good.
Joe, he was managing in 1977.
Yeah, he's like John Motson.
What the fuck?
I was free. I was free at that time. And United just beat Liverpool, 77 cup final.
Yes, that's almost 50 years, isn't it?
I mean, what was the first trophy you saw United lift as a kid?
The one I definitely remember seeing is the Champions League 99.
FA Cup final.
And I'm sure I will have watched the Tottenham game. I will have watched the Newcastle game. But I remember I was only 5. But I remember watching the Champions League final in
I went to
house,
the Tottenham.
up and down screaming.
I went to Wembley, watched Newcastle.
2-2 Tottenham.
Is it?
Right, Cameron.
Well, that's the end of that then, isn't it?
What does that mean?
That means Chelsea are top 4 now.
My first one was
rubbish.
Ooh.
The 1991
Cameron's
Cup
gone off.
I started going in September 1990, so that was my first season.
Lovely.
I don't remember watching the FA Cup. I've seen bits of it since, but
do you remember your first game?
Did you watch it on telly or did you go?
What?
Cup Winners' Cup.
Oh no, I watched it on telly.
Was it live?
Yeah, it was on ITV.
Was it?
It was 1991, not fucking 1921.
No, but not all games were televised live.
Guess who scored it?
Cameron.
Kasper Schmeichel. Liverpool's 2-0, by the way, so that's fucking game over all over the show, innit?
Right.
Fuck's sake.
So it's going to be...
Fucking boo-earns,
So it's going to be United, Chelsea, Liverpool, City then, innit?
Leicester are missing out.
Of course. Because they're twats. And they do this every year. Just hold a space for one of the big boys for the last week of the season. Shame for them, really, but...
Yeah, but their chairman's class, and you know that's how you celebrate with the fans and the team.
Yeah, because it was genuine.
He's genuine, unlike other owners.
At least Salah hasn't scored. I mean, that doesn't particularly doesn't fill me with any happiness.
What? He hasn't scored. Is it
because he won't get the golden boot?
Yeah, Harry Kane's on 23.
Not the highest scoring season this year, is it?
Salah and Harry Kane.
That's a lovely touch over that was. United sitting back, really, aren't we now? As we said before, quite defensive.
Joe, have you ever had garlic bread?
I think it's a 10 out of 10 perfect food, Steve.
That's a taste sensation.
I mean, I honestly think there's a number of foods. Beans on toast is one.
Yeah. Beans on toast doesn't get the love it deserves.
No, it doesn't. The burger, of course, is one. Lasagna.
Hang on,
all,
lasagna?
All 10 out of 10 foods.
Fuck out of here with your lasagna.
Oh, that's a fucking
You want bolognese with cardboard in between?
Yeah.
Get a fucking grip, Joseph.
Meat potato pie.
You know that.
Orange.
You know that lasagna sheets are just pasta, don't you?
No, it's cardboard.
Right, interesting. Cheesy garlic bread is about as good as life gets.
Moussaka.
Chips and
Moussaka's nice.
It's not a 10 out of 10 though.
No, it's an 8 out of 10.
All right, okay, it's
Great
decent.
dish. Nice.
But for something else that's a 10 out of 10, prawn toast, but doesn't get the love it deserves.
Prawn toast.
Sensational.
Posh git.
Posh git. It's like 150 from the Chinese.
Fucking
prawn toast.
Toast.
How is that posh?
Posh git.
Imagine getting called posh
Sit
for having
with
prawn
5
toast from a
fucking
Chinese. What, prawn crackers that come free? You posh git.
City 5-0.
Aguero
Who cares?
Don't know how many he's got now.
Has Aguero scored? What a fucking shock. Yeah, people saying chips and gravy, not bad. Yeah, that's right.
Not bad.
Chips and beans.
Beans on toast is absolutely fantastic. It is. Chips, cheese and gravy, another
Scrambled egg on toast.
Not to Steve, we're going to have words. You can have words. It's fucking cardboard between bolognese. Just have bolognese. Stop being weird.
It's the same though.
No, it ruins it.
Meatballs.
But it's just, you know that the pasta that is in sheet form in lasagna is literally the exact same ingredients and texture as
but it's not the same
spaghetti.
texture. And it's obviously different because it's in a different fucking shape. Do you think the good Italian folks that was creating pasta didn't know that there would be different flavours and have it different enhanced by the different shapes it creates? What about the bows? The bows are sometimes better than the pen. And the pen's better than the fucking sheets of cardboard. You
rubbish.
lazy, unimaginative bastard.
Best dessert. Cheesecake.
Chocolate brownie.
Oh.
No.
Profiteroles are good. Choux pastry in any of its forms.
Le croissant.
Beef Wellington is the best thing ever made. I mean, is it? It's just a posh steak bake, innit?
So it says, Steve, you haven't had good lasagna. No one's had good lasagna because it's shit.
No, it's not.
Lasagna is not shit.
Lasagna's well shit. Get a grip, the lot of you.
Do you like curry, Steve? Like Indian style curry?
Love it.
Yeah.
Pie balm.
Right, we've just lost it. We've gone now.
Yeah,
we're
good.
just name a food you like is what we've got to. Absolute disgrace. Oysters on toast. Have you ever had oysters, Andy?
I've not actually.
No.
You know?
No.
They're one of those foods that it's a real for show food because they're expensive and you don't even they're not even designed for you to taste them. You
have
just
to
swallow
sell a
them
kidney
whole.
to get one.
Well, they're like, yeah, there's no point in having them. Crisp butty. Someone just put fish.
Caviar.
What's your favourite food? Fish.
Fish fingers.
Yeah, oysters are one of them, aren't they?
Yeah. There's
Oysters,
no point.
like oysters and caviar. Like,
Yeah. Do you know all these foods?
Sure.
And we've talked about this before, but all these foods that now are like the posh food, they used to be the poor people food. Oysters, caviar, lobster, crab, all that sort of stuff that now is like on the expensive end of things. That was like the cheap food for the fishermen that, you know, you get the cod and the nice like fillets of fish. We'll just have the shitty crustaceans and that.
Ratto
Now
van.
it's the most expensive
Ratto
one.
van.
Ratto van, yeah.
so
Just
what
rat
you're
in a
saying
van.
is one
Van
day,
run over by a van.
Yeah.
one day you're going to be paying like 75 quid for a gourmet Greg sausage roll in a restaurant.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, can I
Can't
just say this?
fucking wait.
Can I just say this? Greg's up north, up in Workington, actually still do pies in their shops.
Pies in their natural habitat.
Yeah, pies. That's where pies should be in Manchester, not up fucking Cumbria.
Pies plucked from the earth, growing in
I
their
was
little...
gobsmacked. First
their
pie I've
little
seen in
pie
Greg's in
beds.
about 10 years.
Lobster is pure bum, though. That's not fair. Apparently shark is nice.
Beg your pardon? Shark?
I won't say that. It's got a bit of bite to it.
Shark fin soup.
I won't eat that. Anyway. Does Stephen still not like egg? Great question. Steve?
Nope.
What about
I'm
a
boycotting
meringue?
egg.
You'll eat a meringue, wouldn't you?
What?
A meringue?
Yeah.
He eats a meringue.
So Alex Ferguson walked into a sweet shop and he goes,
I hate this already.
what?
Is this a... Go on.
See that white stuff on top of the cake there? I can't remember the joke. It ends with, or a meringue, in a Scottish accent.
Oh, yeah. Well, Steve's got to go now.
Yeah.
Because he's made a big mistake, joke-wise.
Shit joke, wasn't it?
It's a shit joke, that. Someone saying ostrich is nice.
I just see the tumbleweed blowing through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to apologise for my shit joke. I'm going.
Apologise to Fergie.
Sorry, Fergie.
Right. Better. Couplands or Greggs? There's a good question.
Greggs.
Pound bakery.
Well, it wasn't an option, was it, Andy? It's like saying Couplands or Greggs. Blowjobs. It's like you can't just pick something better than both of them.
Pound bakery, Ashton.
Blowjobs are good.
Couplands or Greggs? Winning cash. No, pick one. Pound.
Shola
Couplands
Shorter.
or Greggs?
Greggs.
Right.
Shola's coming on. How old is Shola at the minute?
At the minute? I don't know. 17 is he still, or is he 18? Let's have a look. Let's have a Google.
Shola.
Surety, Ray. I think he's 17, isn't he? He is, 17. Hannibal looks like he's coming on. Someone said mute swan is very tasty.
David says seaweed is nice, but is it seaweed or is it like fried cabbage?
Most of the time it's cabbage, yeah. Like wasabi, most of the time it's
tell us.
Go on,
Brilliant.
fill it.
Yeah, really
Finish
good.
it. Go on.
Most of the time wasabi that you get in England or anywhere
Oh,
outside of
okay.
Japan is horseradish with green food colouring in it.
That's fucking wank, isn't it?
It is. But it's the truth, so, would you rather know or would you rather be blind?
No, I'd like to know.
Yeah. Do you like sushi?
I only had it once and it was in Bulgaria.
And famously that is the place to have it. If that's what anyone says, if you want to get the best sushi in the world, don't go
Sofia
to
in
Japan.
Bulgaria.
Don't go to, Japan. Go to Bulgaria, and if you can't go to Bulgaria, Cameroon.
Don't bother.
Red Dot.
If you can't go to Bulgaria for your sushi, don't bother.
Red Dot buffet on Deansgate when it was there. It was mint.
You like sushi?
No, it wasn't, man.
It was.
It was fucking awful, Andy.
It was gorgeous. Chicken
was-
tikka pizza. Oh.
It was. Everything was
Fucking
wet.
hell.
All the food was wet. The only good thing.
Yeah,
that
the only
they
thing
did,
that was wet was me when I walked in.
the only thing that they did good,
And I'm talking about my
the little
family.
desserts that they did was all right. They were all right.
Little jellies and that.
Yeah, they was okay, and they did like breads, and the breads were fresh, so they was all right. Everything else was frozen and shit. It was just the thing that was good about it is that it was fucking a buffet. It was garbage food.
Juan Mata coming off for Hannibal Maidbury making his first team debut. Juan Mata looking wistful.
Didn't look happy with that, did they?
No, Hannibal coming on making his first team debut. It's good to see, isn't it?
Yeah, youngsters for the future, and we're keeping the tradition going.
Yeah. OMMK says Red Hot Buffet is wank.
It's terrible.
Andy, your response?
Guy's a knob.
Guy's a knob. Interesting. Uncle Ben's sushi is cheap in 2 minutes in the microwave. I mean, Mike Kendall, that's a really troubling thing to read, that is. Because you shouldn't be microwaving sushi at the best of times, let alone Uncle
Anyway,
Ben's sushi.
oh yeah, so the reason we went for sushi, one, it was a group of us, and I had no fucking say in the matter. Otherwise, sushi and Bulgaria wouldn't have been the two things I was going for.
No.
And there was no other options.
Yeah.
And it was all prepaid for, and I was like, bastard.
Did you like Bulgaria?
I love Bulgaria, yeah, it was
Did you?
sound.
Do you prefer Bulgaria the country or Uncle Bulgaria the Womble?
I'm going to go with the country.
Good lad.
And it's 3-2 to Tottenham. The wheels are off for Leicester.
Oh dear.
Game over.
Who scored?
Gareth
Tottenham
Bale.
did.
Thanks for that.
Gareth Bale.
Who scored? Oh, Tottenham, yeah. Gareth Bale, thank you. Whoa.
Oh,
wow. Interesting.
attempted unicorn kick there from one of their
Mkhitaryan
players.
there. Bit of a Mkhitaryan shot.
And do you know what? He's bitten off more than he can chew and he's hurt himself. Quite severely, actually.
Whose was the better goal? Mkhitaryan or Olivier
I don't know what's
Giroud?
happened there.
Who scored that goal?
Mkhitaryan, because it was for United.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know what he's done there. Hurt himself somehow.
Something's gone in his back. Oof.
He's holding his shoulder, left shoulder. So I'm not sure.
Is this a lethal weapon moment? You got to pop it back in.
Has anyone tried the ship shop down the street from the White Line pub near Deansgate? Really cheap, really good. Yeah, I have. Across from the Science and Industry Museum, that little one that's like in between sort of two buildings. I have been in there, yeah. What do you have from the chippy?
Meat potato pie, mushy peas, gravy, chips.
Steve?
It depends which chip here.
Thank you.
No problem.
Gibbs hurt his shoulder. Yeah, it looks like it. Gibbs White. Same old Leicester. Yeah, this is... do you know how we get the whole semi-final FC thing thrown at us? Bottling the top four on the last day FC is a bit of a shitter, isn't it, for Leicester?
Just bottling stuff on the last day in the league is a Brendan Rodgers thing, isn't it?
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
But you throw in the FA Cup as well, so it's a glass half full, isn't it?
Yeah. Apparently the goal for Spurs is controversial. Not sure why.
Ooh. Doesn't matter anyway, does it? Oh, it does actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Well, has it gone to VAR?
Well, if they lose, then they can't go top 4, can they? They've got to score 2 goals in 6 mins, which is not happening.
Cameron's more chilled now.
Is the League Un finale taking place, or is that later on? Because I knew that's today.
League what?
League They start at 8 o'clock tonight. There'll be some ones worth watching there. We talked about that in the fixture list, didn't we, Steve? But PSG have got Brest away.
Oh,
keep your mouth shut, Andy.
Angers.
And Lille have got Angers. What do you prefer? Greg's or Coupland's? Brest. Samuel says...
You're a leg on a breast, man.
Chicken-wise, I'm a leg man. Personally. Just nice.
United on the attack.
Surety rate. Plays it in. Dan James. Find a man. Alanga. And he smashed it over the bar. Samuel says, we had this question before, but we can ask it again. Reckon there's any chance Ndidi leaves now with Leicester having no Champions League football again? I mean, at some point, surely they're going to struggle to keep hold of their sort of top players, Leicester. I know they just won the FA Cup. I know that the owners are nice. But Leicester, if you want to look at it in an American sense, they like to call it big markets. So like New York, people like to go to New York, people like to go to LA. Obviously, London is a attraction in England. I think Manchester is to a slightly lesser extent, but certainly more than maybe Leicester. They're not getting top four football. They sort of fight and struggle every season and then seem to drop out.
Puff.
Do you think they're going to struggle to keep hold of some of those players? I know they don't need to sell, but
that's the biggest thing that they've got is that they can just go.
Big question.
You're not going.
Yeah.
And we don't need to sell you.
I mean, if they're all contracted down, they're all there. You ain't going nowhere unless somebody pays big money. So,
yeah. Need Man United.
Rebecca says
for 1K. How's it looking?
Tweet. Let's see what he's saying.
Jordan Clegg says need Man United for £1,000. How's it looking? It's looking like we're 2-1 up, but we've been sat back for about 25 minutes. So if they get an equaliser, don't throw your PlayStation out the window or whatever.
Wow, Rio just tweeted. Last couple of weeks, it's been unreal to see fans back. However, to the Wolves fan who's just been thrown out for doing a monkey chant at me, you need to be dismissed from football and educated. Come meet me and I'll help you understand what it feels like to be racially abused. Yeah, that'll be getting deleted in a minute. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ.
That's strong, that.
He's here in the morning, though, Rio.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
He's coming around in the morning.
He's coming in here? Wow.
You're not invited. No, joking. You're joking.
No, I'm just saying.
Come down and say hello.
We're doing Vibe with 5 in here, and then we're doing a preview for the Europa. He's interviewing Pep as well.
Cool, fantastic. Good luck. Hey, I'll watch it on YouTube.
Have you seen the fucking size of him lately?
Well, he wasn't exactly small when he was playing for United, was he?
No, he wasn't. And but getting a message like that, come fucking meet me, and I'll explain to you. Be like, ooh, soz.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool Monday.
Imagine being fucking. Imagine not being able to go into a ground for a year, and then you come back and you do that. What a fucking clown do you have to be to do that?
You go home, your missus like, do you enjoy the game, love?
You're home early. It's still, yeah. I'm the biggest dickhead on earth.
Saw that Rio Ferdinand. Oh, what did you do? I did a monkey chant.
Yeah.
What, are you fucking brain dead or something?
It's just it's beggars belief, doesn't it? Juve could end up 5th apparently.
A lot of rumours going round in it tonight. Where's Ronnie going? Unless they get Champions League football.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, I won't be surprised if they went back to Sporting Lisbon.
Azpilicueta's just been sent off.
But they don't matter now anyway, does it?
It might.
Because they can lose and still get top 4 if Leicester don't draw. Even if Leicester draw. Leicester need to win, so it's game over.
Oh, fuck off, Joe, with your fucking facts.
A lot can happen in 3-4 minutes. We've all seen it. We've felt the pain.
We have actually. We felt the pinch. United, go on, Hannibal.
Go on, lad. I'm lucky.
Mike Dean just proper guessed with that, didn't he?
Oh, I ordered a Europa League final programme.
Where'd you get that from?
Was it UEFA.com last night? I ordered it.
Has it arrived?
Just hopefully it'll be here by Tuesday. On the day of the match, I ordered it for my dad.
Do you read them? When you get a programme, do you read them or do you just sort of collect them?
Now and again.
Yeah.
I stopped saying mid-90s, but certain ones you get.
Also, they're not cheap, are they?
Ferguson's last match.
Yeah, of course.
The Munich 2008 programme, I've got that.
Yeah.
Beating City 4-3, Michael Owen, got that one. That's pretty good.
You can hear Cam there scoffing in the other room as he sees that. I guess that's him seeing Azpilicueta get sent off. But it doesn't really matter again.
It's irrelevant now.
Let's go through as things stand again. I'm sure a lot of you know this already. Obviously, City 1, United 2. Then it's Liverpool in third on 69 points. Chelsea in fourth on 67 points. And Leicester in fifth on 66. And Leicester are losing. So, problematically for them, even if they do get a draw, that would put them on equal points with Chelsea. If they get one more goal, Leicester will still have two worse goal difference than Chelsea. So, Leicester need to win. It's as simple as that. Or Chelsea need to concede 2 more goals and Leicester need a draw. Unlikely. Essentially, Leicester need 2 goals in 4 minutes or they are playing Europa League next season. If we keep going down, West Ham in 6th, they're going to get Europa League football, which is very good for them. Spurs in 7th, who have leapfrogged or re-leapfrogged Arsenal, who are in 8th, who will, as it stands, miss out on all European football, I believe.
Could be a blessing. Could be
a blessing for them, you know. And I don't disagree with that, actually, because take away sort of, what is it, the 8 to 10 games that you would play in the Europa League.
Yeah, could be a blessing. Just deal with it. Concentrate on the league.
Wolves, wide.
So there will be ranting tonight, but like you say, it could be a blessing for you. Don't stop moaning.
Yeah. 5 minutes or 4 minutes left of 5 minute stoppage time for United. It's nice that we're not checking the table, shitting ourselves that we might not get top 4 in it.
I'm just glad we beat Villa, didn't we? Because if Liverpool were this late surge, we were like 15 points ahead of them. And it's down to 5 now, isn't it? But, yeah.
Are you happy with that, Steve?
No.
Yep.
Wants to be number 1.
Of course, but I'm saying it's nice to not be sucked into that like we have been almost every season in the last 8 years.
Ultimately, and obviously, Wednesday night is all that matters now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wednesday night.
Yeah. Apparently Matic is injured.
I will be bringing my Jack Days in.
4-2 to Tottenham. It's absolutely fucked here, Leicester.
It's over. Leicester have done a Leicester.
What are you thinking beer-wise? Jack Days Wednesday.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I might just get sort of 40 Guinness or something. I do that though. When I drink a lot of Guinness, my farts the next day smell of tarmac. Like real road heat. Some sensational road heat.
I haven't had a good lager night for a bit.
I had a lager night yesterday, or lager day yesterday.
Yeah.
Just like 7 pints of Lagunitas or whatever it's called. It's like, I've not had a lager day in ages.
Lagunitas?
Lagunitas.
Is that Spanish?
Yeah,
We'll say yeah. I think like Portuguese, actually.
I've had some fucking heavy rum sessions.
Yeah. The problem with rum is, though, because of the mixer, it's a lot of calories in it. You're essentially drinking 10 glasses of Coke, which is what, that's what teenagers do.
Steve is a rum expert, though, isn't he? So,
No, I don't think I am. I've just got a lot of it.
Are you qualified in my book?
I don't know enough about it. I wouldn't mind going learning. But could you can learn about rum?
Obviously. Do like rum tours and that sort of stuff. Yeah, definitely you can.
Make your own rum.
Make your own rum. Do you know it is just vodka and HP sauce.
Stretford Paddock rum.
Is it not, Steve?
Stretford Paddock rum.
Dark rum is vodka and HP sauce. Someone at home let me know. That's what I've always assumed it was. I've never had that confirmed, but it does look like it, doesn't it? So let me know. Hannibal's got a lovely turn of foot, if that's a word. Trickery.
He's just small. He's very slight. Needs to get on the deadlifts.
Was that Lindelof getting chopped in the face? I know it's Brandon Williams, isn't it? That's not a penalty.
In
no world is that a penalty. No world is that a penalty. Steve, did you get a Guinness in Dublin?
Yep.
Got to be done.
Yeah, I've heard people say this before. Try Nigerian Guinness. It tastes like chocolate and it's 8%. I've heard of this Nigerian Guinness.
Yeah.
I've heard Guinness is massive
me,
in...
Me telling you. It's also 12.5%.
They said it's like 8%, but even
Greek beer's nice. Cypriot beer.
Just on the rum being vodka and brown sauce point there, Craig Smith saying, you are correct, Joe. So that has been confirmed, which is excellent. And it is lovely.
Yeah, Nigeria is the only place that's got a license to actually do its own version of Guinness.
What, like produce it?
I think it's called. It's got a name. Woof.
Who's that?
I don't think it's export. It's called. I can't remember what it's called now, but yeah, it's. But we did World Cup of beers. I had Guinness as my Nigerian one, my Nigerian Guinness as my Nigeria beer, and I was like, "Fucking, that's all right." That.
Yeah.
And super duper powerful.
Yeah, you have 2 of them and you're fucked.
Yeah.
I
like it.
Yeah, I'll definitely like to try that. I like Guinness. What do we think to the Jester's hat, Andy, in the crowd?
You need a clown at every club.
No, worse than racism.
We take that back. Steve didn't mean that.
Right,
Will
it's
Fish,
equally as bad as racism.
No, it's not. Will Fish has come on for Manchester United centre back. Who's he come on for?
To me, it's as offensive. Dan James has come on for. The Jester's hat at football is fucking ridiculous.
Well, yeah, it's bad.
It's worse than standing there dressed as a fucking knight at an England game.
What's worse, Jester's hat, Fellaini wig?
Both. They're both awful.
What about a child who...
Fuck you and the kid.
Likes to wear a Jester's hat regardless.
Are you referring to the Europa League final where somebody dressed up like the Incredible Hulk? Do you remember that?
Fuck that clown as well.
And his son, because he didn't have tickets for the final, and he went there to that semi-final. And
I've seen them walk past us outside the ground, going into the ground. Can you imagine? Dad, can't we just wear jeans like normal people? What are you fucking doing? No, put your red paint on.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's weird. Gianfranco with a super chat says, down in Ecuador, we have something called Cana Manabita. It's rum, but its standard alcohol content is around 60 to 70%. Straight up diesel gas.
Cool name, that.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to drink, that, isn't it? 60 to 70%. Got to water that down a bit.
Knock it on the floor, that.
Yeah. 96 minutes gone of 95 minutes supposedly played here at Molineux. Hopefully the ball will go out and hopefully we can get a fucking full-time whistle.
Why is the ref adding this? Is this Mike Dean being... Because he's
Mike Dean being Mike Dean, isn't it?
Because Tranmere lost in the fucking playoffs.
Like, why are we still playing? It's been a minute and a half over.
Where are you getting this from, Dean?
He loves a bit of this, doesn't he? Last day of the season.
He loves himself.
Make it all about him. I don't quite understand this. It's not been an eventful game. There's not been a lot of stoppages. And somehow there's 5 minutes anyway. And now we are about to enter the 97th minute of the game.
And it's over.
And that is full time. Manchester United 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. United's first league win in 3 attempts. And it's the kids that have done it. That's a decent result, that, isn't it? What do you reckon to that, Steve?
Yeah, we kept that away record. That's not really anything going. And
good to have, though.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not an achievement, but it's a footnote.
Yeah.
And it's better than losing.
Yeah.
For sure, and it's a good way to bow out on the season. I don't think anyone's performance there is going to change Ollie's mind ahead of the Europa final, but it looks like we've not picked up any additional injuries. So
Matic potentially going down, holding his leg, but we don't really know the full extent of that. Elanga with a goal on it, I think his full debut in the league, or maybe he played, but certainly one of his first games for United. Matter as well with a nice one to sign off with, looking like
one for his mum.
Yeah,
bless her. So,
Yes, thank you very much. We will be back with the review very shortly. Me and Jay will be looking at this game. We'll be looking at the top 4 race, which is now over. We'll also be having a little look at Manchester United's season as a whole. So make sure you stick around for that. Get your comments in there. The link to that review is in the comments. Click on that. Wait for us over there. We'll be over very shortly. Manchester United have finished second in the Premier League. Top 4 confirmed. Champions League confirmed. The big night still ahead on Wednesday for the Europa League final. Again, meet us over for the review in just a few minutes. Thank you, Andy, for coming along.
Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for joining us as well. Thank you to everyone at home. We'll see you in a bit.